And we're back. And we have encoding. There we go. Fantastic. You love to see it. That's exactly what I was hoping to see. That would just take the one restart for us to get the encoding. Hopefully that is all the restarts done and dusted for the evening. And we're just going to be able to enjoy the Counter-Strike that's going to be on display. It looks like my frames actually are better, by the way. So that's really good news. Really good news. You love to see it. Finally, actually something going my way this evening. It has been a stressful half an hour, guys. It's been a stressful half an hour for me. I'm just relying on a good game of CS to take my nerves, you know, calm them down to a gallop again. Anyway, so I can actually take a few deep breaths now and start to calm down a little bit. Let's talk about the game. I'm sure you guys have had enough of listening to all my issues, enough complaining. Let's actually chat about the match that we have in store tonight. So, NiBBLE Conspire versus Ekasi Esports. So NiBBLE actually qualified in third, or rather in fifth position in their group. They placed fifth. They were just behind Royalty Esports. They actually tied on points with Royalty, but because Royalty had a better round difference, NiBBLE, Royalty ended up placing above NiBBLE, and that's how that went. On the opposite side, Ekasi placed 8th in their group, so they ended up losing a couple games that they probably shouldn't have. In particular, their match, I think it was against a Prestige clan, they lost 2-0. I can actually bring up the tournament website if you guys would also be keen to have a look for yourselves. Let me just here we are. We can just go through this together and you can see exactly how their respective games turned out to be. So first looking at NiBBLE Conspire, they got off to a great start, beating both Ladin and Critical 5. They drew to Team Mist, which I spoke to Dagger in the interview, which unfortunately we don't have the luxury of watching this evening. And he said that was actually they dropped the ball a little bit against Team Mist and not a game they expected to draw. They beat Clutch Kings, drew to Sinister 5, which is actually probably their most respectable result in this group stage. Of course, Sinister 5 placed second, so that's really solid. Lost to ATK, which is no mean feat. That's okay. I mean, everybody lost to ATK in the group. Then Royalty and Online Kingdom both ended up being draws for NiBBLE. So they finished on 10 points, just outside of that top 4. Didn't make much of a difference though, because if they placed 4th, they would have ended up having to play against Goliath in the winner bracket anyway. So not the end of the world for them. Switching across now to Ekasi. So they finished 8th in the group, and like who else said, that wasn't exactly where they expected to be finishing proceedings. They had some really impressive performances in their early stage here. Even though they lost 2-0, it was really close against XD. The one map they lost in OT, and the other map they lost 16-14. They also pushed Energy the distance in one of the maps that they lost there as well. They drew against WRG, which is impressive, but this was the game where they dropped points that they probably shouldn't have, which was against Ekasi, and he also said they expected to beat OG. Outside of that, they won against Adapt, and they lost to Goliath as well. So in the end, they finished 8th, just inside the running, enough to keep them going into this next stage. And they find themselves alive and kicking in this tournament. Both of these teams only have 1 life left in the event. They're going to have to win this game to keep themselves in the hunt to progress to the next stage. Whoever wins this match is going to be playing against XD Gaming in the next round of the lower brackets. So I'm going to be pulling up the game now, guys, because it looks like we're going to be jumping in momentarily. There we go. Just what I wanted to see, that the HUD is indeed working. Now we need to figure out why our mini-map isn't playing ball. Promise you I'm going to make it work. There's no two ways about it. Whether he likes it or not. There we go. Minimap is working. We're straight into the pistol round here on Nuke. NiBBLE Conspire versus Ekasi Esports. It's NiBBLE who find themselves on the CT side, and it looks like it's going to be a bit of an aggressive player from Ekasi, as that's actually Gemini who drops into the vents, but it's a bait. They only send the 1 player down, and they're trying to force the rotations out of NiBBLE towards that B bomb site. Now they're going to be hitting the upper bomb site, and it's defenseless. There's only 1 player from heaven. It's frozen. He's going to peek out, and he does actually spot Badger. They have a couple of shots fired at one another. But in the end, the bomb's going to go down with all 10 players left alive on the server. Ekasi want to try and push the extremities of the bomb site. They want to try and force the issue here. And they actually are going to get a quick flurry of frags. Badger picks up 2 towards heaven. And that should all but seal the deal here on the first round. Gemini going to be chiming in with one of his own. And now it's just Ivan left. in a 1 versus 4. He's not long for the world either. Ekasi, pick up the pistol round. This is their map pick as well, guys. That's why they find themselves on the T side. You get choice of sides on your opponent's map pick. Alright, so share the link with all your friends, guys. Let's get as many people as we possibly can here to watch the game this evening. We got two teams, two very hungry teams who are going to be giving it their absolute all tonight. Certainly there will be entertainment provided, I can guarantee that at the bare minimum. As the force fight comes through from NiBBLE Conspire and they're looking to make the lobby crunch happen, but Ekasi have been able to evade it for the most part. Who else actually picks up his 3rd kill now at the Mac 10, looking for his 4th. And he's going to find it as well. That's a cool $2,400 in the bank for him. That's a really nice boost to the economy. And the fact that Ekasi deal with that aggressive lobby crunch so successfully is also going to be a nice confidence booster for them. I mean, it's such a ball ache if you lose that lobby crunch in the 2nd round when you've just won the pistol on the side of Nuke. So, able to avert any potential disaster. This should be a far easier round. You can see the airstrike is coming through from NiBBLE. 5 grenades have been purchased up and all of them being thrown outside, but barely any damage is done, and the information is there for who else who wants to continue doing damage with the Mac 10. In fact, so much so that he's prepared to run through the fire. Well, who do you guys have as the favorites to win this game? Because from what I can tell, this is actually incredibly closely contested between these two teams. They're very evenly matched. If I had to really have a crack at it, I'd probably edge NiBBLE ahead of Ekasi, maybe like a 55-45 sort of split, 60-40 maybe if we're pushing it a bit. But the point is that that group stage performance doesn't really depict what Ekasi are capable of. These are some very competent individuals, and when they're on form, this team can go toe-to-toe with a lot of the highest ranked teams in South African Counter-Strike. So this is certainly a very evenly matched game. And it certainly adds more spice when their tournament lives are on the line as we go into the first gun round. Jeff Rosen has the luxury of the AWP in the first gun round on the CT side. On the opposite side, Ekasi, well, they've got a lot of money in the bank. They're going to be able to buy up in the next round regardless of what happens here. So they have a bit of a buffer for themselves right now. How's the audio levels, guys? Is the game sound loud enough in comparison to the audio coming through my mic? Gonna be a bit of a late outside take here from Ekasi. 3 players on the side of the map showing some presence. Ivan playing on the edge of the smoke. They're looking for the feet, but it's Gemini who spots him out first. The entry frag being found by the IGL. That's a good start to the round. That's going to be spreading things a bit thin here for NiBBLE because it gives Ekasi so much room to work with now. But it doesn't actually look like they're going to be exploiting that room that's been given to them, or rather the room that they've taken. And you can see Frozen's caught between 2 mines now. Does he watch outside? Does he watch towards ramp room? It's going to be the upper bomb side. Pop back 3. Gaga's in position. The spray stays true. He finds 2 quick kills. Multimac gets one of his own. And now it's on DMS and Badger. But as I say that, DMS gets taken down. And it's Badger left alone in the 1 versus 2 clutch. He's got the Galil in his hands. And you can see Frozen doesn't want to be giving away any unnecessary fights. Badger could collect the bomb and actually drop into the B bomb site here, and it would be the perfect play, and it seems like that's what he's going to be doing. This, at the bare minimum, secures him a bomb plant, and he's actually going to have a bit of time to get into a post-plant position of his choice as well. So he could actually have a crack at this clutch here. All of a sudden, this 1v2 looks far more doable. He has a bit of time to choose exactly where he wants to go in the post plant as well, and he wants to be aggressive towards the single door. Little does he know, both of the CTs are going to be coming from this part of the map. Frozen just edges around the corner, lands that lightning fast AWP shot, and as a result, NiBBLE are going to be finding their first round in this match. Hart wants to go with bravado. Oh jeez, that's playing with the feels, man. It's too early to be playing with the feels. That's midnight vibes. As I said though, Ekasi with plenty residual cash in the bank. So So they're going to be able to buy up into this round, and it seems like they might be changing up the pace here again. Gemini is going to be charging through the squeaky door, dropping down into the vents. This seems like it's a bit of a theme for Ekasi here, because perhaps they're looking to condition NiBBLE as much as they can in the early stages of this game, to try and get them over-rotating perhaps towards that B bomb site. Towards Ramp has a big job to do. He holds down mouse button 1, he's able to find 2. Mortimer comes in to support him as well. The trade's favoring NiBBLE as they walk away from that skirmish with a 1-man advantage. Frozen going to be the first responder towards the speed bomb site. Oh, Jesus, okay. Frozen's pitched up. He's not wasting any time before he starts landing his shots with the AWP. Certainly one of the up-and-coming players in the South African scene. He has got those lightning-fast reflexes, able to land plenty of flick shots. And if he's on point tonight, then we're definitely going to be seeing some fire AWPing from NiBBLE's department. So let's keep an eye on Gemini heading into the rest of the half, where he continues to try and drop down into the vents. He's been able to do it relatively unscathed for the most part, so might continue to just try and exploit that part of the map. It is a nightmare for the CTs when a T player drops down into the vent really early on, because there's so many options for him, and it just automatically forces you to change your setup, to adjust your setup to try and deal with that presence alone. Eco round for Ekasi, going to be sending most of their men towards that ramp area, but NiBBLE are happy to give up that part of the map and just hold the extremities. You could see Rogues immediately dropping off into the bomb site, and they're happy to give up the control and then force Ekasi to make the next move from there. But as I say that, they actually were able to find the frag on Rogues. That's a bomb plant at the bare minimum. There shouldn't be much else coming from them though. 2 versus 4. Badger with only 7 health, no armor on either of these players as well, so this should be a mere formality right now. NiBBLE just crossing all their T's and dotting all their I's, making sure that they don't want to be giving away anything at all. I like how patient Mohamed is coming from ramp as well. He knows how important it is that he stays alive, because there's a very good chance one of the T players is playing from ramp, so he lets his teammates all push into the bomb site. They take all the attention, maybe even tap the bomb, which means when that T player actually shifts from ramp and focuses towards the bomb site, that's when the CT flanking can activate and get the frag. Nice patience from him. Another full buy round here, AWP on both sides. It's Badger with the AWP for the first time on this T side. I'm interested to see what he decides to do with this AWP. Who else playing above the flames, looking to find the kill. Does a decent amount of damage, but Dagger is still alive and kicking. Frozen towards the ramp spots Gemini out. He's going to go back for more, but he actually nearly offers himself up on a silver platter. He now has no choice but to go for a more passive approach. I am liking the way that NiBBLE are moving around the map on the CT side so far. You can see they've got their protocols in place, the way that the pieces are being shifted across the board. But a nice change up here from Ekasi as they just shift towards the same bomb site. They're going to be catching Dagger caught between 2 places he's trying to cover, and that makes for an easy opening frag. Again, really nice mentality here from Ekasi on the T side, the way that they're moving around the map, making it very tough for NiBBLE to actually get a read and get a grasp on what's going on here. Still, the retake is on the cards. Mohamed in the vents, ready to pounce. How much longer do okay, so NiBBLE are just going to be going for the save here. Frozen on the angle, needs to be careful. Banja has it on lockdown, but Frozen still able to get the kill. The AWP should be recovered regardless, but at least he's doing a bit of economic damage. Oh my word, they're just going to continue to give him some more frags. Who else probably should have rather just saved towards T-Spawn. The economic situation not great for Ekasi. They win the round regardless, but could have been a bit cleanup. I also like the decision from NiBBLE to go for the eco there. They made the call really early and they looked for exit frags. So that's an efficient way to actually go for the save, as opposed to trying, maybe losing 2 players and then saving. Just make the call off the bat rather. And look at how well it's actually worked out for them in this round. They've got a full buy. Literally everything they could ask for. Ekasi with a lot of presence outside right now, and they don't realize that Even is playing around the red container. It's going to be Badger coming around the corner with the no-scope. He's able to connect. Such an important frag being found there as well. If he went down, that would have been the round completely unraveling. In the end, they trade 2 for 2, leaving us in the 3 versus 3. Certainly does favor the T side, especially when there's so much time left on the clock. That's always the scenario in CS. If you trade evenly, it favors the T side. And that's purely because they've got so much more time to work with on the clock now, and it opens up the map. It's much more difficult now to try and defend the bomb sites with only 3 players remaining, trying to cover all the different entry points. Sort of have to start making a few gambles, and you can see Rogues has the information that lobby's clear, but the timing just works out against him as soon as he leaves the angle. That's when the T players push through. However, they will still have a shot here in the round as they push on, or rather they have 2 players towards the edge. But that grenade is going to destroy Mohamed. Now it's Dagger left in the 1v1. He finally activates on top of the hut. He's looking for Badger. He's going to find the kill. I didn't even realize. I thought that there was a second player on the rafters, but after there was no fire coming through from him, I thought maybe I was misreading the minimap or something. Confused me as well. Finally he activates and he wins the clutch. Nice trigger discipline there from the captain of NiBBLE Conspire, who actually have a bit of an interesting setup. They've got a captain and an IGL, 2 different individuals taking over those roles. So Dagger's the captain and the IGL is indeed Rogues. So I'll try and explain that concept a bit more as well as I understand it, because actually quite a few teams have different ideas of what it means to split the IGL and the captain. So the IGL just pretty much comes down to the player who makes the calls round by round in the server, makes the decisions as to how they're going to be changing things in the mid round. That's pretty much his role as the IGL. Literally just making the calls based on what's going on in the game, in that map. The captain takes over as the leader of the team. He's still the man who takes responsibility. He's at the top. He's the head. He's the face of the team. He's the man who's going to be taking the responsibility and is in charge of dealing with any conflict in the team, dealing with any issues, any discrepancies. He has to be the player to make sure that all the players in the team are happy. And comfortable and feeling in their comfort zone when they go into the game. So that's sort of the difference between the IGL and the captain. Very often it's the same player in the team. So I've got word on the veto. Of course, as you guys would have guessed, the first map is Nuke. Second map is Overpass, and third map is Mirage. So going to be an entertaining series. I wouldn't even mind if we got to Mirage. I feel like it's actually a strength of both of these teams, and I actually think it would be a really entertaining map to watch with both of these teams because of the way that they play the game. Not afraid to, you know, focus on the individual side a little bit and allow their players to run rampant and try and find opening frags around the map. And of course that is Mirage down to a T. So NiBBLE get themselves ahead for the first time here on Nuke, after they get across the line in that anti-eco round. Ekasi gonna have AKs across the board here once again. And it seems like it's going to be a fairly stock standard defense. NiBBLE not changing their approach too much up here on the CT side. Just sort of starting out with that same deep defense and then shifting across based on the information that is relayed to them. It's actually one of the CT sides you move around the most on in CSGO because there's just constantly things changing. And Ivan already finds himself towards the single door. And the bomb site frozen, missing the easiest of shots. He's able to find the follow-up. He nearly got taken down there. All in the meanwhile, Ekasi have taken full control of the B bomb site. So again, they're going to be able to secure the plant. And you can see DMS wants to try and make sure there's no flank coming through. Gemini is actually pushed up into the A bomb site. He's been spotted up, but he's actually able to get a kill. That's super aggressive from him. And now NiBBLE are going to have to think, and they're going to wonder what exactly is the plan. Are they going A? Are they going B? Spreading the defense thin right now. Rogues is in position towards the ramp room watching the B bomb site, but Ekasi are being incredibly patient right now, and finally they're going to be pouncing. Gemini with the bomb on his back is going to be just trying to get across towards the silo safely to secure the bomb plant. And I like the numbers watching the angle here. Good teamwork between Bullock and DMS to lock down that ramp door. Now it's a 2 versus 2. One player on each side is fairly low. Frozen's position's been given up as well. Maybe he's just trying to take the attention away from Mohamed, who's walking up through the track, but the timing's going to work out against him as DMS catches him from control room. And surely that's the end of the round now. Frozen has been able to pick up an AK at least, but with only 30 health, this is going to be a tough clutch, and you can see decides against it. The economic situation is not great on his team right now. So even though he saves the AWP, I don't think they're going to be able to have a full buy in the next round. They could maybe go for the force, but great round win by Ekasi, just bringing things straight back into even keel. Of course I can send the brackets, my good man. There we are. I'm going to try and keep you guys updated on the Energy versus Online Kingdom game as well. They're currently on Nuke, and Energy is ahead 4-0. I believe that is the first map as well. Look at the aggression coming through from NiBBLE. They've already pushed into lobby rooms. They've got all the information as the world. They know that Ekasi have to be pushing through outside, so now they can change their setup, and immediately they're dropping numbers towards this B bomb site. It was the force buy indeed from NiBBLE, and Frozen's already been taken down. That's the AWP, and it's actually not retrievable either. It's on top of heaven, and there's nobody in the area to pick that up, so that is a big problem for NiBBLE right now. That's one of their big trump cards in the round that's been eliminated. And look at Ekasi just patiently pushing their way forward, throwing numbers at the situation, making sure that there's always a trade on the table. And that's exactly how you want to approach your anti-eco / anti-force buy round. Still alive and kicking. Oh my god, somehow he's been able to get a third. All of a sudden he's swung this round straight back into even numbers and given NiBBLE something to try and work with. Dagger and Rogues, the two players left in the situation, they only have pistols between them, but who else has 7 health, so there certainly is a hope along with a prayer in this round for NiBBLE. Dagger's going to be opening up the door. DMS battles with the shot, so he gives his position away, but he's able to secure the frag regardless. Rogues, though, picks up a kill, and he knows that DMS is cooped up in the corner. He has an AK as well. He's going to drop straight down. He gets the frag, and he has enough time to secure the defuse as well. My goodness gracious me. How did that slip away from Ekasi? That was such a big round for them. They had done phenomenally in that anti-force buy. I think that was 5 versus 3 when they were walking their way onto the B bomb site. Mohamed coming out with the heroics, the triple kill. Jeepers, what a multi-kill. That was such a high impact sequence from Mohamed. And who else said it in his interview? He said that Mohamed is a nasty player and he lands some of the craziest shots, and he's living up to those words right there. The aggression from Ekasi now as they stream into the A bomb site, but they are met by a stern defense. That just shows you, that previous round just shows you can never say die. In CS there's always still a hope. And it's a really strong position that Mohamed was playing in as well behind that silo. If you go unchecked, there is so much potential for you to do damage. Even spotting out the Sky player Badger outside. Of course, this is just the eco from Ekasi. Welcome everyone. Now that this is the eco, I can just chill a little bit. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. This is the Telkom VS Gaming Masters Season 5. Of course, this is the lower bracket match between these two teams. Loser is eliminated from the tournament. The winner will play against XD Gaming in the next round of matches. Bullock securing a cheeky plant here. Still going to go down to a mini flick shot there from Frozen. But a bomb plant is not a bad result for Ekasi. Generally in an eco round, you want to at least get 2 to 3 kills. And a bomb plant ideally, or a bomb plant is also an acceptable result. So that's going to be a nice bit of extra money going the way of Ekasi this round. It means they can get that extra piece of utility. They can make sure they have head armor on everybody. They can afford the AWP on Badger. Remember, everyone gets an extra $800, so it's nothing to scoff at. 7-5. NiBBLE starting to mount a solid defense here on the CT side as they put 2 rounds between themselves and Ekasi. Ekasi looking to get back to winning ways here on their T side. They've got that Badger on AWP. They've got the Badger on AWP, everybody. No. Badger has the AWP. And he's outside at the moment. The T side is very limited for options for AWPers. In fact, often we'll actually see teams completely forego the AWP on the T side altogether. Generally, you want to have some sort of a plan when you pick up the AWP. Rogue's on the angle, needs to be careful. He's dancing with death, and Bullock gives them exactly that with a few bullets through the smoke. Now they're going to be activating towards the upper bomb side. The execute's coming through here. The defense is going to have to stand tall. Dagger, the first point of contention, is going to get shut down cleanly there from Gemini. Good crosshair placement as he comes around the corner, and this is ever so clean from Ekasi right now. I actually thought they could have been a bit more patient after they found that frag towards ramp. If they had just waited a little bit more, the setup would probably have shifted, and maybe that A bomb side is slightly weaker, but in the end, the numbers just completely overwhelm the defense. So that's a great round win for Ekasi because it just keeps them in a very solid position this half. Nuke has definitely become a bit more T-sided than it used to be. I would say like 10-5, 9-6 are acceptable score lines now. Maybe 10-5 more so than 9-6. So the fact that they're already getting a 6th round is solid. This is Ekasi's map pick. Mr. Chappie. As my good sirs, Nobody and Tones relayed. That's it, Nobody. In fact, thank you for reminding me. I can actually update the HUD now. And we can have that information on display. Nuke, Overpass, Mirage. And we're just guessing here. I mean, maybe, can you imagine if Ekasi picked this map, or rather, sorry, NiBBLE picked this map, and Ekasi chose to start on the T side? I mean, I suppose that's a potential theory, but certainly not the one I'm backing. I do think this was Ekasi's map pick. And Overpass was picked by NiBBLE, which makes a lot of sense because it's one of their strongest maps. There we go. We should... there we go. On the right-hand side, you can now see the maps and who picked them. Oh! Gemini gets a love tap from his teammate. That's unfortunate. And he just sits back and spawn afterwards. He's got a smoke lined up, but that sucks. Not the ideal way to start the round. Now he's been brought into that that one tap range for the M4s as well. So if he goes down to a headshot on the M4, then he's going to be a bit upset with his teammate. This is a bit awkward for NiBBLE because if they lose this round, there's no money in the bank for them to buy up in the next round. And it seems like Ekasi are just going to be going back to the old faithful A hitch here. 4 players in the lobby ready to just jump their way through into the bomb side. Molly and Smokes coming through, but Mochmat's actually able to find 2. I don't think the fire landed, or maybe the smoke on top of the hut actually extinguished the flames. That meant Mochmat was able to maintain his position on the rafters, and that's why he picks up the multi-kill. No trades on the table, and that's a great defense by NiBBLE, must be said. Thanks, Chappie. Appreciate the words, bro. Definitely missed you guys in this event, man. I'm sorry about the way things played out for you guys. You didn't deserve it. And I definitely think you guys could have made a solid run in this tournament. I see a lot of potential with your team, assuming you guys are still together under GAC, you know. Same boys with Jumpalot, Zane and Sane. DMS in this 1 versus 3 looking to make things interesting with the AWP. It seems like he's actually been able to wrangle his way in and amongst these CTs. He's going to be able to secure a bomb plant at the bare minimum here. Surely there's no way he clutches this out though, considering he does have an AWP. Anything's possible. Dagger going to flash his way forward, and he's able, it's actually DMS. I think I said Badger. I just saw that the player had an AWP, so I assumed it was Badger. But in the end, regardless, he's going to go down. NiBBLE get across the line. So, once again, NiBBLE restore 2 rounds between themselves and Ekasi. And the double AWP. Speaking of 2s, well, apparently that's the number of AWPs they have as well. Rogue's picking up another AWP. I don't think I like this, especially considering the pace that Ekasi have been approaching this game with. It's been very quick so far. And that's when the AWPs can actually work out to be a bit of a liability. When you end up having to retake certain parts on the map, the AWP just does not work out very nicely. Can become really awkward really quickly. 4v4 here. As the dust starts to settle, but Dagger's going to continue to explore towards Hut, and he catches who else off guard. Important kill as well, because if he went down there, 2 AWPs, 1 AK left on the table, things become, as I said, a bit awkward for NiBBLE, but that's not the situation they're faced with right now. In fact, Frozen towards outside, spots the player above the red container, and realizes he has to get out of there. Gemini, overextending slightly, offers himself up, and it seems like Badger might suffer the same fate, but thinks twice of it. Bullock, however, has been able to find his way into the safe bomb site, and he takes down Mohamed on top of the rafters. Nice patience from him as well, as he just drops back through the squeaky door. There's actually a few options on the table right now for Ekasi, but the problem is they barely have any util. They only have 1 molly at their disposal. And it seems like they are going to be trying to re-enter the safe bomb site through the Hut, where Dagger lies in wait. He's going to be picking up the 2 kills. 9-6. Nice turnaround there from NiBBLE after they lost those first 3 rounds. It means that they actually picked up 9 of the 12 rounds thereafter. So, as soon as they were able to get the guns in their hands, things looked a lot better. Okay, there we go. So, Chappie, thanks, bro, for filling me in as to what's been going on. I think Online Kingdoms is actually a really solid team, and not a bad place to find yourself as a sub. And then, of course, as you say, once the season ends, that's when you can try and get yourself back into a team certainly capable of it. So I've got no doubt in my mind that you'll find a home quite easily, bro. Pistol round here in the second half. Ekasi on the CT side looking to get off to a good start so they can get back into this one. But NiBBLE actually going to get off to the start they would have hoped for. Mohamed, oh my god, what are you doing with the P250, you madman? Stop it, Mohamed, there are children watching this game. Oh no. That is insanity right there. With the P250. That first shot on DMS was so dirty. The second shot on Badger was even dirtier. Filthy. Oh my goodness, that was just too sick. Clip it. Oh, I hope clips are enabled, man. I saw there was somebody saying clips weren't enabled. We need to get that sorted. We need to get clips activated right now. At least the VOD will go up regardless, and at least we caught that on stream. Jesus. Alright, NiBBLE. I see you. Great pistol round. I mean, generally, you actually don't want to be taking the fights against the USPs outside, but he had the P250, so that enabled him, and it works out perfectly. Ekasi going to go for I want to call it a force buy, but I noticed that they've kept a little bit of extra money on each of their players, and I really, really like this decision. I actually can't stress enough how big of a difference this can make in the long run. This means that they're going to full save in the next round, and when they have their first full buy, it's not like somebody's going to have a FAMAS, or they can't get the AWP, or they're going to have a lack of util. They're going to have everything they need in that first full buy round, as well as giving themselves a chance in this round by just, you know, buying up a few upgraded pistols and some armor. So, even though it doesn't work out for them here, I totally see the theory behind it, and I'm definitely on board. Yo guys, if you could follow the channel, that would be very much appreciated. As nobody mentions, you need to get affiliate for to use clips. Is that right? Is that right, Josh? Not exactly sure. More of a YouTube streamer myself. Speaking of YouTube, I actually uploaded my first YouTube video today, guys. And I'd really appreciate it if you'd go and check it out. I basically just spoke about the Cloud9 team that have recently been released. It was announced the other day that they would be completely overhauling and restructuring their CS division. So I basically just chatted about that team in general and how things worked out for them, what they achieved in their 9-month stint under the organization. You can find that on my YouTube channel, @HazeCastings. If you just type HazeCastings in YouTube, it'll come up. Or if you go check me out on Twitter, also @HazeCastings, you'll find the link there. That would be much appreciated. Anyway, back into the game we go. It is just an eco round for Ekasi. 2 more upgraded pistols for them in this round. NiBBLE definitely found their stride here on Nuke. You can see they're starting to look far more fluid. The players are looking really comfortable. Everybody's starting to hit their shots. It's looking good. Ekasi looked really good at the start as well. So they've reached that point where they've arrived on the server. They're on the CT side as well. And going into that next gun round is where they're going to have to make their mark. Who else though? Lurking up behind them with the CZ is going to be able to take down Frozen at the bare minimum. Although he's going to get rounded on here as well. Although Muhammad with the AK has got the job done regardless. He's got it under rounds right now. He's going to go back for some more with his P250. He's got 23 kills right now. 23 and 10. He is absolutely dominating right now. The highest frag count on Ekasi is 11. He has more than double anybody on the side of Ekasi right now. That's saying something. I should do an ASMR video. Oh Jesus, that would be something else, bro. This is the first map indeed, Astro, as Dagger finds the first frag in the round. Remember, this is that all-important gun run, and look at how much damage has already been done to the Ekasi players. They've lost, who else? Bullock and Gemini have already been brought down sub 50 health, or at least Bullock is on 15, Gemini's on 50. Not an ideal start to this all-important gun round, but they do still have numbers left alive. Badger able to open things up for his team with the AWP, and that's a very important frag as well, because now we can continue to hold that angle towards ramp and gain some valuable information as a result. Oh man, Dagger with the spray through the smoke brings Gemini down even lower, this time to 20 points of health. 1 bullet more will do the job. Oh, Astro then overpassing no Mirage. Alright, bro. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm on your wavelength. I see your vibes. It's fire, but I see them. Speaking of fire in the server right now, NiBBLE have gotten themselves onto the A bomb site. They've got a 2-man advantage as well. The round is all but done. DMS and Badger have no choice but to save their weapons, and it's about to be 13-6. This game has gotten away from Ekasi very quickly. When you think back to the fact that I think it was like 6-5 at one stage to Ekasi, or maybe not as much as that. I'll have a look now once this round ends. DMS looking to just try and keep himself alive at this point. Doesn't even want to do economic damage. He just wants to take this gun into the next round. And oh no, Rogues gets that kill. Badger's going to go down as well. In fact, everybody on the server is going to go down. NiBBLE won't mind that though, because it means none of the Ekasi players are actually able to save their weapons. So a bloodbath as that bomb explodes. So yeah, you can see that NiBBLE Ekasi got off to that good start, but NiBBLE, as soon as they got their weapons in their hands on the CT side, started to look far more convincing. So it was actually 7-6 at one stage, and Ekasi haven't been able to win a round from there. So it's been 6 consecutive rounds for NiBBLE. And now they want to get aggressive. They want to push straight into the safe bomb site. Not a big fan of this choice, considering the economic situation right now. And it's costing them dearly. Already 3 players have been dropped. And this is just the eco from Ekasi. Who else is going to get another one with his CZ? He's found 3 frags with the weapon. Now it's just Ivan left in the clutch. He's able to find the double spray down, which makes the clutch far more digestible. 1 versus 3 from the 1v5. Pushing his way forward. He spots out another player towards the rafters. It's going to be Badger to try and activate through Mini, but Ivan is ready and waiting for him. Is he going to turn this into a potential 1v5? Oh my god, he gets 4 kills, but Bullock, with the perfect timing, comes through the squeaky door and secures the round for his team. Wow, that was such a great attempt there from Ivan. Really cool, calm, and collected. That was a bit of a blunder from NiBBLE. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. In the anti-eco round, there was no point for them whatsoever to get as aggressive as they did. I know that they're like super far ahead and they've got the momentum and the confidence behind them, but when you're playing against the Pistols, just take the rounds slowly. That's what's been winning you these rounds so far. No need to try and up the ante. That's not what's gotten you to this point. Especially in the anti-eco round. If that was a gun round, I'm 100% on board with that strat, but against the Pistols, it's just plain silly. You're giving them an opportunity to get back into the round. Wow, Dagger actually not able to get that frag. I thought for all money he was going to be getting the kill. And that's a big one for Ekasi because now they can refocus their attention elsewhere. DMS catches Ivan. Playing that garage area really nicely there is DMS. When you've got the rifle, it can be pretty difficult sometimes actually in terms of how you approach it playing outside, because you don't have the luxury of the AWP, you don't have that extra distance at your disposal. So it's all about the timing when you're playing with the rifle. Frozen left in the clutch this time, seeing if he can go one further than Ivan in the previous round, although it was just a 1v4 for him. He's actually got the bomb and he's going straight up towards the A bomb site. He's going to be able to secure a bomb plant at the bare minimum here. Even using his util slightly preemptively, he could have bought a bit more time had he waited, although maybe actually the smoke was the perfect play. DMS was not far away at all. Frozen gets the bomb down, but how does he win the clutch from here? All three of the players have converged onto the bomb site. He's holding the angle, but he's already being rounded on by Gemini. I see Frozen actually got the kill on Badger, so he nearly actually was able to get it done, but in the end, Ekasi win the gun round and keep themselves alive here on Nuke. Cheers, Astro. Glad that you like the overlay, man. If you guys actually have any feedback for the overlay, please send it. So it's a work in progress and we can always make adjustments and adaptations if something does come up. Bullock just sprays Frozen down through the smoke. Ekasi, they found their mojo once again here on Nuke. And remember, this little run all started off of that anti-eco, or rather that eco round that Ekasi won. And it was really easy as well until Ivan nearly clutched out the 1v5. Now it's who else going on a bit of an excursion. Of course, this is just the eco round for NiBBLE. Bullock spotting the feet of Dagger there underneath the smoke. Just Mothmat left in the server for NiBBLE Conspire. And, he's not going to be lasting much longer either. All 5 players stay alive for Ekasi, and that's a great achievement for them, because that's a really nice boost to their economy now heading into the next round. It means if they actually have a bit of a buffer now, where if they lose a round they can buy up in the next, which is exactly the position they would have wanted to be in. Considering they're fairly far behind the game, they can't afford to lose one round and then just be on pistols. So that's the first objective achieved. Now they need to win this gun round to bring themselves into double digits and start to force NiBBLE to sweat a little bit. You could see they started to coast and they were looking really comfortable. And look at the aggression here from DMS off the back of the flashbang from Badger. Is looking to find the frag, but he went down. Badger though in turn also finds the kill just to keep things even here on the server. Okay, I totally understand what you mean when you say the highlight, and that's the type of player who's being spectated. So basically whoever we're spectating at the time is the one who gets highlighted. In the normal default HUD there's something similar where it's just like I think it's like a grey highlight type of thing. I get what you mean when you say like the proportion sort of thing. Maybe there's a different way that they could approach it. I'll think about that as well. So, look at this movement from NiBBLE. They've been able to get themselves all the way towards this B bomb site, and it seems like it's been relatively gone unread from Ekasi's side. They only had one player who was towards ramp. He wasn't even on the bomb side, so the bomb plant goes down, and now Ekasi have to make the retake happen. They get it off to a good start though by finding the frag on Frozen. They've also identified the location of Ivan. He's still able to get the kill though. Great shot though from Badger, and that leaves Rogues in the 1 versus 2 clutch. He did give his position away where he got the frag a bit earlier, and the bomb's actually not planted for the double doors either, which is where he's going to be opening things up. Bullock above him right now. That smoke is blocking him off, and he gets stinked down. He only has 12 health left here. He's going to try and find the frag on the diffuser. He's actually been able to get the kill on Badger. Oh my god, Rogues, I think he's done enough to win the round. Bullock drops the flames to try and deny him, and Rogues, he's been able to find an angle. He dances around the fire. He gets himself into the bomb site, and he closes out the clutch. That should never have been a round win. Oh man, that's a huge let-off for NiBBLE. Damn, I think NiBBLE are going to be breathing a massive sigh of relief after that one. Ekasi do still have a full buy at their disposal. Of course, the FAMAS is not ideal, but it's a rifle. NiBBLE also got no money in the bank. Whoever loses this round, not going to have any money left in the next. And that's a big deal if you're Ekasi, because it means NiBBLE are going to be pretty much playing map point for free. So this is a vital round for Ekasi to keep themselves alive here on Nuke. No more buffers, no more second chances. And you can see that NiBBLE Conspire respect the magnitude of the situation. They're not making any unnecessary plays. As I say, that Badger almost holding a pixel angle there on Ivan. Maybe a little bit more, but very narrow angle being held all the way from the back of CT. And you can see Ekasi, just like I said, NiBBLE respect the magnitude of the situation. So do Ekasi. Super passive from them right now. Playing all the way back in the extremities of the map, forcing NiBBLE to push forward and make the next move. And now that next move is towards the safe bomb side, where they're pushing forward. First is able to find one as well as Dagger, but it's who else on top of the hype who's able to find a multi-kill of his own. And that leaves his team in a winnable position, 2 versus 2, as the bomb plant is secured. Bullock gives his position away, and they now know where Badger is as well, and he just gets absolutely destroyed by Mothman, who swings around. He swivels on the 180. The pirouette of perfection, as he gets the kill and secures map point for NiBBLE. And the nightmare is now realized for Ekasi. They have no money in the bank to try and defend this map point with. Oh, it's a disaster. Moch is a madman indeed. November 18th, Astro. That's my birthday, bro. Damn, what are the chances? Alright, let's see if Ekasi can somehow keep themselves in the hunt here on Nuke. 2 FAMASas, 3 Desert Eagles is the ingredients they have to try and come up with the winning recipe. And it's going to be who else looking to get aggressive. He recognizes that they are at a massive deficiency with weaponry, and that's why Ekasi are looking to get aggressive. They're looking to try and make something happen, but nothing going their way. Great fadeaway shot there from Gemini to at least give them something to work with in this round. But the one-man advantage continues for NiBBLE. As the dust starts to settle and the wind howls in the distance here on Nuke, NiBBLE are setting themselves up fantastically towards this B bomb site. They've got full control. Ekasi have only got 2 players left. Oh, a bit of a team dink there. The IGL dinking down the captain. But it's okay. No harm, no foul. Both of these players for Ekasi are going to be coming from ramp, and it's been recently smoked, recently mollied. This is such a tough situation they find themselves in right now. Mohamed, up close personal, looking to add 2 more kills to his tally. He's got 26 kills in as many rounds here on Nuke so far. An absolute madman of a performance. And Dagger's going to be closing things off. So Gemini was able to get 1, but that's all it was. NiBBLE Conspire win the map 16-9. It's Ekasi's map pick that they pick up as well. and that puts them in really good stead heading into the rest of this best of 3 series. Remember, this is actually a lower bracket matchup between these two teams right now. Whoever loses this is eliminated from the tournament altogether, so everything to play for. We're going to be heading to Overpass next, guys. But a great map, actually a bit unfortunate for Ekasi, I think. They got into a pretty solid position there in the early stages on their T side. They were bossing the game. They went ahead, I think it was like 6-4 at one stage, or 5, at least like 5-4 or something along those lines. It was looking pretty good for them. They had a solid hold on their T side, but then things just started unraveling as NiBBLE found their footing, as they got all their weapons that they needed. They looked way more convincing when they had the full buy at their disposal, and their CT side was just solid in general. I liked the way that they were moving around the map. Their protocols were certainly in place. You could see that the way they were responding to the information was really good as well. Whether they lost outside or they lost ramp room, everybody knew exactly what was required with them. And I was actually also impressed by Ekasi's T side, especially when they got a little bit more complex with it. You could see that they also had a very good read on things, the way that they were taking ramp control, but then changing up from there, going back and hitting the upper bomb site, or they were dropping Gemini down into the vents and trying to unsettle the CT side. I really liked the way they shifted around as well. Unfortunately, Ekasi couldn't follow it up with the CT side they would have liked, and NiBBLE had an absolutely baller T side. So that's the first map done and dusted, guys. We're going to be heading to Overpass next. As I said, going to be taking a short break though before then. And actually, I'm going to replay the Who Else interview for people who didn't get a chance to watch it before the game. Unfortunately, it's the only interview I have tonight, guys. I'm really sorry. I recorded an interview with Dagger as well, but the audio got corrupted, so we don't have the luxury of watching what he had to say or listening what he had to say. So I'm going to be playing that interview for you guys, and I'll be returning once it's completed. So sit back, enjoy what Who Else has to say, and I'll see you once the interview is done. What?
Awesome.
Who else? You guys probably didn't have the exact run you were hoping for in the group stage. You ended up placing 8th, so you made it by the skin of your teeth into the next stage. Looking back on those matches, what do you make of them?
All right, yeah. So, coming into the group stages, we wanted to place top 5, because we felt we could take a lot of these teams on.
Yeah.
Namely, and we expected to get some wins against OG and Prestige, which we ended up drawing against OG and then losing against Prestige, which we did not expect.
Okay.
It's kind of a blow to our egos. But we came relatively confident into the group stages, as we took XT to a really close game.
Yeah.
We took a map of WRG and we went into overtime against Energy, which were both like really good confidence boosters for us, since we didn't expect those games to be that close. Me being the newest member on the team, we were entering a kind of a rebuilding phase as well, because the team wasn't really built around me being on entry, and me being on entry now, we needed to rebuild, focusing on that, and some of the players and roles had to swap around mid group stages.
Okay.
So yeah, obviously we didn't get to the results we wanted.
Sure.
But we've been practicing a lot now in these last 2 weeks, getting in scrims, putting in a ton of work, and hopefully we can get this to be a better result for us now in this elimination stages than in the group stages.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like you said, the potential was there in the group stage. There were those moments that you guys you guys know you're capable of. As you say, your goal was to reach top 5. So at least you do make it through to the next stage, which is where we are right now. You're going to be playing a game tonight against NiBBLE Conspire. A few words on that match?
Yeah, so I was part of NiBBLE earlier this year, and then we decided to part ways before I joined Ekasi. And I have nothing bad to say about any of the guys on NiBBLE. I'm really good friends with most of the people in NiBBLE, but tonight we're not showing any mercy against them, just due to that.
Yeah, I saw that little exchange with you guys on social media where, you know, Bravo, the owner, I think he is, of NiBBLE, was just saying you guys had a good relationship, and you responded by saying, but I'm not going to be giving you guys any, I'm not going to be letting up in the server. You're going to be bringing full gas tonight.
Yeah, and they've been putting in a lot of prep. They have a coach, Bobby Tux, and then Rogues, the IGL of them also been putting in a lot of work. He's been watching a lot of games. I sometimes sit in Discord with him until late night, and he's just watching demos and watching VODs of
Letting
other
out his
teams in SA
secrets.
playing. Yeah, not letting out secrets, but like he's
Nah, I'm
putting in a lot
playing.
of work.
Yeah.
And then Neo's pick up Frozen is also a really like he's a star player, I think.
Okay.
But we're like just coming into that. We're not a team we're not gonna take them easily. We're gonna be putting in. We've put in a lot of work as well. They're not gonna have an easy game. I think we've been Gemini, our IGL. He's been making Excel spreadsheets. He's been putting a lot of work watching demos. With DMS as well. They've been putting a lot of work together.
Yeah.
Watching demos and stuff. Badger's been working really hard on fixing his own gameplay, working on his confidence, and then Bullock also being put in a new role. He's been focusing a lot on that, and he's been improving a lot doing that as well. So I think we've been putting a lot of work coming into this game, and I'm feeling really confident about it.
Okay,
so,
awesome. All right, well, that's really good to hear. I mean, I'm definitely expecting some fireworks in the server tonight between you two teams. I think you guys are fairly evenly matched. So just going on now to the third and final question. What are your guys' goals and expectations heading into the rest of the Telkom VS Gaming Masters?
Well, our focus is primarily on tonight. Because if we lose tonight's game, it being a high stakes game, we're eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah.
So if we get past tonight, I would love to see us get to the top 8 because we're facing XD next, I think.
Okay.
And then if we do beat NiBBLE tonight, and
Yeah.
I would really love to see us. And I think we're a team definitely capable of beating XD, even though we lost to them in group stages. I think we've come a long way since then. But I do not doubt that they also have been putting in work. So I definitely want to aim for top 8. Obviously more than that. But I think our goal at this moment is probably top 8.
Okay.
And obviously, but winning tonight first.
Yeah, there we go. First and foremost, get across this line.
Yes. Because we want to focus on the current game.
Yeah, taking it match by match sort of thing, not getting too far ahead of yourselves. I think that's really important as well. Very often teams, they try and set a goal that's probably bigger than what they can achieve, so then that ends up leading to disappointment as well. And also you want to focus on the smaller picture, and you want to just set small goals for yourself that are realistically achievable. And I think it's good to just stay in the present and not think too far ahead. So I like that mentality of just taking it game by game, especially considering you guys are in the lower brackets, so it's always going to be a challenge. But you know, nothing's impossible. Like you said, you beat NiBBLE tonight, you go against XD. They're no ATK or Goliath. Definitely a team that you can try and go toe to toe with. So who knows what happens from there.
And I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with the Team Liquid international lower bracket run. So who says we can't dream?
There we go. I love to hear it. Fantastic stuff. Okay, well, who else? Thank you so much for your time, man. Is there any few words before I let you go?
I just want to thank a few people. Sponsors from Ekasi and then also VS, primarily, for putting together this tournament, for working out all the issues with load shedding, all the scheduling issues that could happen, all the streams they somehow manage in between with casters, like that's insane. So I just want to thank VS for putting all the work they're doing, and the admins as well, because I presume they also have some real life stuff they need to get to sometimes, and then this gets into the way. And then also I want to thank our sponsors, AOC South, Syntech SA, Red Dragon SA, and Taltronics SA. For sponsoring Ekasi, and then also Ekasi for giving us this opportunity to compete in this tournament.
Well, there we go. There you have it, guys. That is who else. Thank you so much for joining me, man. I wish you all the best for tonight, and I'll see you guys in the server.
Awesome. And good luck with your solo cast.
Thank you so much. I'll make the most of it, man.
Right.
Cool. Cheers.
All right. Cheers, man.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to this match between NiBBLE Conspire and Ekasi Esports. My name is Hayes, and I'm going to be bringing you guys all the action in the second map. Of course, we just came off the back of seeing NiBBLE Conspire with the dominant performance, in particular on their T side on Nuke. They ended up closing out the game 16-9. It was 16-9, right, guys? If you could just refresh my memory. I'm pretty sure it was 16-9. I see. I made a promise that I would indeed show my made bed. So here we go. And my cat. She's not very impressed. But yeah, my bed was made before, by the way, before I took a break, I promise. I solemnly swear. Thou shalt not lie. Guys, it looks like the game is on. You're making me show you my bed and the match has started. This is not okay, everybody. Come on. We have priorities here. We're here for a reason, everybody. Into the pistol round we go. Apologies about that, guys. 3 versus 2. Make that a 2 versus 2. As the dust starts to settle. In fact, geez, we were only like 25 seconds late, 30 seconds late, and there's already so much damage that's been done. As the dust starts to settle, it is a 2 versus 2. You can see the way that Ekasi are approaching this. They're just sort of splitting up right now, hoping to get some information. But Mohamed, who picks up from where he left off on Nuke, is able to get another frag. And NiBBLE, they're not going to be wasting any time. They're not going to be messing around with any fakes. They're just going to be charging straight on towards the safe bomb site, where they're going to be able to secure a bomb plant at the bare minimum here. Though Badger, does he opt to push through the smoke? Does he try and catch them off guard? Oh no, his leg was just sticking through the edge there, but Dagger couldn't find the frag. Now they're going to be dropping off. The problem is that I don't think the bomb's actually planted for them. They might be able to get an angle at the bare minimum, but they're going to have to push forward somewhat, and it might get a little bit awkward, but Badger doesn't have that kit to work with either, so on both sides, this is going to be a pretty tough one. More tough for Badger than for NiBBLE, that's for sure, as he goes down to Mohamed, picking up his second kill in the pistol round. So, NiBBLE pick up from where they left off. And remember, this is their map pick. So Ekasi had the choice of sides. They decided to start on the CT side. But this is one of NiBBLE's strongest maps. I actually had the pleasure of casting NiBBLE play this map against Online Kingdom in the group stage. And NiBBLE beat them, I think it was 16-13. But they were behind 13-5. And they then went on to win 11 consecutive rounds on their CT side. So they were 10-5 down at halftime. Online Kingdom picked up the first 3 rounds on their T side, and then NiBBLE won every single round thereafter. So the problem is that NiBBLE have a really solid CT side. The problem for Ekasi is that they can't let NiBBLE get too many rounds here on the T half because their CT side is so strong. So the fact that they've won the pistol round here is a great start. Going to be an executed towards the B bomb site, but NiBBLE don't have any information as to what's going on right now, so they're actually pushing into a stack on the site, although they do have far superior weaponry, so it's not going to be costing them anything in the long run. Just Rogues goes down, but I think he only had a Mac 10, so no harm, no foul. We're going to be having the first gun round now. Ekasi won't have the luxury of the AWP, which is actually a bit of a big deal. Personally, I prefer seeing teams prioritize the AWP in the first gun round on the CT side. I'd rather go for the double save, get full util, make sure I have the AWP as well. You see, they've had to opt for 2 FAMASs so that they can actually have a decent amount of util at their disposal. And look at the aggression coming out of Ekasi right now as they force the issue towards Fountain. Frozen though, playing on the precipice of the smoke, looking to catch them off, doesn't actually realize how far forward Bullock has pushed. Now he's going to realize when his teammate goes down, he's able to trade it, but the damage has been done. Frozen looking to get out of dodge. And look at the response here from NiBBLE. They pushed super aggressively up lowers, but DMS was ready for Dagger's positioning. I like the response there from NiBBLE, but it doesn't work out for them just yet. Now it's going to be action towards the B bomb site. Frozen and Mohamed trade their way onto, or rather through, the monster tunnel. They don't realize though that Badger is dipping and dancing around the pillar. Oh, was he spotted there? Ivan's actually going to be able to get the frag. Unfortunately, he couldn't have been the guardian angel that Frozen would have wanted, but at least he does get the trade at the bare minimum. Now Ivan left in the 1 versus 2. Has a bit of time left on his side here. How does he approach this? Does he want to maybe try and get aggressive and push towards A? Is he content with just grabbing the bomb and planting over at B? You see, that drop down is going to be giving DMS the clue that he might be getting aggressive here. Ivan pushing forward is going to be going down. DMS able to avoid the flashbang. Nice hold from Ekasi, especially considering their lack of weaponry, that they had no AWP, couple FAMASs. They get aggressive towards Fountain. And that's a nice way to start things off, because they're also going to be conditioning NiBBLE a little bit more now, showing that they won't be giving that map control for free. And I think it's really important to start that way on the CT side. You want to try and force the T's into awkward positions as early as you can in the half. And this is exactly as you do it. Look at them once again, looking to force the issue, but NiBBLE in response, they're just charging through the monster tunnel. They don't give a care in the world. Oh my word, it's the MAC-10s that find the entries, and it's the MAC-10s that are going to secure the control. All 3 kills found with the SMGs, easy $1,800 in the bank, and they secure a bomb plant. Wow. Love that strat from NiBBLE. Big fan of that. You want to use that as early as you can in the half as well, and I'll explain more now why. But there is still a retake on the cards here, potentially. Looks like he's making his way through the monster tunnel, but he's going to get taken down, and that should be the end of the round. Just DMS left. He doesn't really have any choice but to save his rifle. We'll have to take that AK into the next round, where they can try their luck once again. So the reason I really like it when teams... Why is he hanging around, though? Maybe he thought he could get some more exits. Maybe he thought... I don't know if he had a kit for a ninja. I don't know if he maybe thought he'd be safe there. Anyway, he goes down, so no weapon saved. Why I like that full B rush really early on in the half as the T side is because you get to potentially test the defense. If you win the B rush like that, that's going to be sending shockwaves through the B defense, and also going into the rest of the half, you know that that's a pocket strat that you can pull out whenever you need. You can also continue to abuse, choose to continue to abuse it if you want to as well. Keep on forcing it until they finally shut you down. It's such a demoralizing strat to lose to round after round. So yeah, big fan of the B rush early on the T side. If you lose it, it's okay. If you win it, then you can start to build on that. So the Desert Eagle and Gemini has been able to zero in on Dagger's head, but can he find anything else is the question. NiBBLE are fairly spread around the map right now, but that's okay because they're just covering the extremities. You don't want to be spread too thin in your anti-eco rounds, but if you're playing passively, it's okay. You shouldn't really be pushing around the map by yourself though, that's for sure. Gemini able to find a second. He's going to drop back all the way to the B-bomb site here, I'm sure, just preempting that to be the play. Or he wants to save the rifle. I think that's what he's going for here. Did find that frag towards long early on in the round, and I don't think that NiBBLE actually retrieved that gun. Although as I say that, they clearly did, because there isn't a gun there for Gemini to pick up. Oh, he actually did find the AWP, but Rogues was in position to make sure he couldn't take the gun regardless. So, NiBBLE go up 4-1 here. Get off to a fantastic start on their T side, but Ekasi with every chance to stop that now as they get weapons in their hands. Once again, the problem is they don't have the AWP. You can see Gemini's mauling it over. Do I drop the AWP? Do I go for rifle and util? And it's going to be the latter that he chooses. So an all-important round here for Ekasi to try and put a stop to this momentum that NiBBLE are finding on this T side. You can see they're going to be approaching this slightly more passively. In the past few rounds, they've been looking to get really aggressive towards Fountain and try and choke the T side, but now they're just going to sit back a bit further. You can't afford to give up all the map control for free, and that's why DMS is sitting towards toilets, so you can just show a bit of presence. At least at the bare minimum, you force the Ts to use some of their util to take the map control. He is playing on quite an aggressive angle without any support though, and he can't find the kill. The timing nearly works out for him, but in the end, doesn't connect. Now he gives his position away. He's going to hang around a bit longer though. In fact, he wants to try and find this kill. He goes back for seconds. That's super aggressive, but he does achieve the desired result. So, NiBBLE now with the man down need to try and reassess the situation. You can see that they've actually had a really good idea on their defaults in the way that they're spreading around the map, not making any unnecessary commitments in the early stages of the rounds, and actually looks like they're making the right call here as they go back towards this B-bomb side. I'm surprised Ekasi are stacking 3 players towards A right now, considering that DMS is actually so far forward. Badger able to get one, but he's going to go down thereafter, so now the B-bomb side is in control of the T side. Interesting decision there, as I said, from Ekasi to stack those extra players towards A, but DMS swings the odds back in his team's favor with that frag. Rogues forced off the bomb with that fire. Will actually be able to get the frag on Gemini. Really important frag. Bullock looking to edge his way out the smoke. And he will get the frag. He's going to follow it up with the shot onto Dagger as well. Nice vision there from him to spot that player towards Graffiti. I thought he might have just missed him, but he picks it up. Picks up the frag. And gets Ekasi back to winning ways. Lately, I can confirm that your son is having a fairly good game here. He had a good performance on Nuke, but Mohamed was the man who just went nuts. He got 26 kills in 25 rounds. It was 16-9 on the first map, as you can see on the graphic. NiBBLE, they're going to go back to this full B exec. This is exactly what I was talking about. It worked out for them in the past, and they're going to try and make it work once again. All 5 players charging through Monster as they make their way forward, taking command and control. They actually find the B bomb site's relatively vacant right now. Why are you doing this to me, Auto Director? I did not ask to be taking the third person point of view. Oh my goodness, it's all falling apart, but we get back as the retake does commence. The man advantage is actually taken away. DMS able to find the frag. Now he needs to reposition himself. Both him and Bullock coming from CT. Now he's going to be reapproaching it from heaven, or rather from CT as Bullock comes from heaven. And it's Rogues left in the 1 versus 2 clutch. The bomb's ticked quite far already. Do they commit to Monster? They're actually going to double peek it, and they find the frag. Both of the players have a kit, so the defuse will come through with no issue. Vital retake coming to fruition for Ekasi.
Counter-terrorists win.
I'm starting to get quite interested to see all this, this guy's my father, this guy's my son conversation. I mean, maybe somebody's not letting me in on a secret. Is this like just one massive family gene? Everybody's related to everybody. No incest, of course. No, jokes aside. NiBBLE have lost one of their players. I see Frozen has disconnected. Hopefully won't be too long before he reconnects. Just going to get some information as to exactly what's going on there. Well, he's already returned to the server, so we should be unpaused, and there we go. From my mouth to there he is. We're going straight back into the game. Ekasi have earned themselves an anti-eco round here as they start to find their footing on the CT side. Looking way more convincing now after the past couple rounds. You can see they're looking more sturdy. And the way that they dealt with that B exec was also impressive and vital, that they were able to shut it down or at the least win the round. Yeah, NiBBLE got on the bomb site, but the retake was successful, and that's what matters the most. Badger getting all the information in the world right now as to exactly what's going through lowers, and it's just hyper aggression from all of these T players streaming onto this bomb site. There are 2 CTs, but these guys have been able to get really far forward ahead of the fire as well. DMS playing from the safety of the stairs is going to be looking to do damage. A lot of damage has actually been dealt already. He just needs to stay alive now. Bomb plant comes through, and that's already an objective achieved for NiBBLE. So the fact that they get a frag and a bomb plant, you can deem that a successful eco round. And I like the strat there from them as well. Just super aggressive through lowers all the way up onto that A bomb site, holding W key. But the scores are now level. Ekasi showing that they certainly still have fight in them here in this lower bracket match. Getting Star Wars vibes, you are my father. Yeah, maybe not the best Darth Vader impression I've ever done. Just trying to, you know, get the breathing effect going. But, you know, my whole face isn't incinerated, so he's got that over me. Full buy around here once again, and Frozen does actually have the luxury of the AWP this time. I think this is the first time we've seen the AWP on the T side. Still no AWP for the CTs, however. I'm not sure if that's by design or just because of how the half is played out so far. Saving the rifles, no need to buy that AWP just yet. Generally, we see teams prioritizing the AWP on the CT side, especially towards the A-bomb side, because there's so many long angles to take the fight at, especially when you're defending that A-bomb side, looking out toilets, looking down banana, looking towards long. You generally want to try and do some damage to the T's before they can get onto the bomb side, and that's where the AWP really becomes effective. When you've got the rifle and you're just sort of jiggle peeking and firing off a few shots, it can be very awkward. And this is exactly why. My word. DMS just caught in transition and Frozen had the angle on lockdown. And now this becomes a bit more difficult because there's only one player towards the A-bomb site. Do they shift? Do they rotate? They're going to have to soon because NiBBLE are poised to execute. All 5 players are going to be converging on this bomb site. The rotate's coming through, but for the meanwhile, it's going to be Bullock all by himself. He gets taken down by Rogues. The entries are on point right now for NiBBLE as well as the execute. They're going to be taking full control, and if I'm Ekasi, would be considering the save from this point. 3v5, chances are very slim to make the retake happen, especially considering all 3 of them are coming from the same angle though. Badger looks to want to perhaps force the issue here. He does open things up, and that's going to be at least allowing them to get into the bomb site at the bare minimum, but they're still going to find a very tough job of trying to get onto the bomb and secure the defuse. You can see all of the NiBBLE players are taking the angle, they're taking the fights. Nice double peek there to secure the round. So there is still a buy that's going to come through for Ekasi, but 2 of their players are going to be on slightly weaker weapons. In fact, they might even have to save because of it. And had they saved their weapons in the previous round, they wouldn't be in this situation. So definitely an oversight from my perspective. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. This is the Telkom VS Gaming Masters Season 5. We're currently in the Championship Elimination stage, the second of 3 stages in the event. 16 teams taking part in this stage. There were 8 teams that started in the upper bracket, 8 teams that started in the lower bracket. And out of the 16 teams who partook in this stage, only 4 will progress to the 3rd and final stage, which is the online, or the Comic-Con online stage. 210,000 Rand on the line as well. First place takes home 100,000 Rand. Everything to play for. Ekasi indeed go for the eco. They're playing the long game here. In fact, they barely spend any money at all. I mean, they could have afforded to actually buy a few more upgraded pistols, pick up a scout, buy some util. I'm not sure that it was necessary for them to save as much money as they did. Maybe they want to be in a position where they maintain a bit of an economic buffer as well, so when they full buy in the next round, they still have around $1,000 left in the bank. I would have prioritized a few extra upgraded pistols so that you can do exactly that. Who else? The one player who did buy armor, nades, and a CZ is able to find a kill. He's got a really good ability of actually just finding timings and being able to push, even though it seems like it might be a really risky play. When the odds are against him, he's actually able to pull out those sorts of moments. So props to who else for finding that frag. As a response, NiBBLE are going to be trying to make their way towards the same bomb site as they execute trail once again. Though Dagger doesn't realize there's a player in the long corner. He's going to be calling it out to his teammates. Now but Badger, he's just tapping away with the USP. Does a massive amount of damage, and DMS, he's actually just going to be able to peek out from long. He secures the frag, and that leaves Ivan now in the 1 versus 2. And he's going to commit to the bomb plant here as well. DMS just comes around the corner with his USP. Oh man. Alright, well, Ekasi just completely shut me up. They show they don't even need to invest anything in the round to get the win. But that, I mean, a couple of USPs, a Desert Eagle and a CZ. That sounds like the start of a bad joke. But no, it yields them a round win. And that's a big let-off. Again, that's the second time NiBBLE have lost against a full eco in this series. Can't afford to be losing those sorts of rounds. They've got an eco of their own now. They're going to try and get across the line, and it's that similar strat to what we saw a few rounds ago. They have to charge towards the A-bomb side. Gemini is going to be the first point of contention. He goes down, and Rogues has been able to find a kill, so all of a sudden it's actually opening up a bit as they march on towards this A-bomb side. I think they're going to beat the CT player who's rotating from B as well, so this should be a bomb plant. No armor on Frozen, so that M4 is not going to be able to do much. As I said, that he gets taken down, and it's just Dagger left in the clutch. And it seems like they are aware that he's towards bank right now. So there shouldn't be any further shenanigans. Tapping away with the P250, he's going to get 1. Certainly a successful eco round for NiBBLE when you look at things. They got 5 frags, or rather 3 frags and a bomb plant. So that leaves them in a pretty good position heading into this next round. They do some economic damage to Ekasi, and they get a bit of extra residual cash for themselves with that bomb plant. Damn, we're talking NiBBLE, boys. This is that's a money state right there. I go to Belito every now and again. Are you guys in that area? I'm pretty sure NiBBLE is near Belito. Anyway, back into the game. You have 3 versus 3. A quick skirmish towards the fountain area ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. Certainly favors the T side, especially considering how much time is left on the clock. And also on a map like Overpass, which is such a big map. It's so tough now for the CTs to try and keep things under control, and you can see that's why Gemini is maintaining this position, because he can get a surplus of information. All in the meanwhile, Badger's on the A bomb site, but Gemini gets found out, and he's going to go down to Ivan. So that's a problem now, because Ekasi have to split their resources with 1 player on each bomb site. Which means it's pretty much a 3 versus 1 for NiBBLE, regardless of where they end up going. Badger with the AWP watching on towards this B bomb site from heaven, putting himself where he can quickly rotate. In fact, it seems like Ekasi have actually made the read here. They've got both of their players on this B bomb site, which is where NiBBLE are coming from. Who else playing in the water, looking to try and unsettle Even? He's going to be able to do better than that as he finds the kill. Badger picks up a frag with his AWP as well, leaving Morph in the clutch. He destroys Who Else, and he knows exactly where the AWP is as well. This could be a bit of a challenging clutch for Badger, but he's trying to work his way around the bomb site. Morph is going to be jumping up. He looks for some elevation. 8 seconds left is enough time for him to secure the clutch. He's been phenomenal throughout this entire evening, and when his team needs him to stand up the most, he's there on the call of duty. NiBBLE leveling things up here once again, 6-6. And remember what I mentioned earlier, NiBBLE's strength on this map is their CT side, so the fact that they've already secured 6 rounds on this T side puts them in really good stead. I must say, I'm really impressed by Mohamed, guys. Like, I haven't casted too many of his games, actually, but this man is, when he's on point, it's not like the cleanest frags, besides that pistol round we saw in Nuke, but he's super effective, like, really effective, and his aim is very snappy and efficient, so... I mean, obviously, you guys watching, most of you have probably played against him in quite a lot of scrims and officials, so you would have a bit more knowledge on that, but I'm impressed, man. Who else swings around the corner? He gets the 3! Oh my god! How does he do so much damage? He got the support from Monster as well. I thought that Dagger was going to be unraveling that entire play, but Badger gets the 1 kill that he needed to. Oh, and Who Else even stays alive? He's good for the quad here as well. There's no way Ivan's able to spot him out. What a big play from Who Else. Oh man, that's a big play, and exactly as I was saying earlier, Who Else has that ability to actually just look and identify opportunities and chinks in the armor of his opposition, and he exploits it fantastically. Great work there by him. So NiBBLE find themselves with another eco. This time, instead of charging through lowers, they're going to be rushing through long, and this actually might work out well for them. You can see it's just Bullock spotting towards the A bomb side. He has indeed spotted them, but he's already been dinked down to 42 health. He's able to at least find the double spray down, but he will eventually go down. So this is going to be a bomb plant at the bare minimum here for NiBBLE. Surely they can't get much else done though. They do have a Tech 9 Desert Eagle and M4, but no armor on any of the players. This is such a big frag for Mohamed, but he's not. Oh! I thought that Badger was going to get him on the angle. Frozen's found 2 kills as well. Oh no, it's completely unraveled. All of a sudden, it's DMS left in the clutch. He's been able to find the first, but there's still 2 more players for him to pick up here. My goodness gracious me, and it's really awkward as well because he doesn't know exactly where they are. There's been so much time in between when his team last spotted him and when he's seen them now, so they could have transitioned. He finds the first one. No! Oh no, Mohamed, that is... Oh no, the flames! The flames! Oh my goodness gracious me! Oh my god! What just happened? I thought Mohamed had done it. I thought he made the 200 IQ play. He gets the flames onto the bomb, but it does not tick DMS down in time. He finds the defuse just before the frag comes through. That round just swinging from end to end so quickly. Thought that NiBBLE had done enough with the pistols, but DMS realizing he can just stick the defuse. Heartbreaking stuff. Not talking about the man in the chat either. Or his teammate, the man. Bullock. Getting aggressive. This is something Ekasi have looked to do regularly. Just try and force the issue there towards the fountain. Try and suffocate NiBBLE. This time it might work out against him though. NiBBLE putting up a bit of a fight here. And they're actually trading. Although as I say that, Ekasi go one further. DMS with that 180 swivel is able to take down Ivan. And it should be Ekasi finishing with the 9th round here in the second half. Stop the dad jokes. I know. Too many. Mohamed spots up ahead of the play towards Gravy, and he absolutely destroys who else as well. With a minute left on the clock, there's actually quite a few options available here for the T side. Big nade coming through, followed up by the molly. So that's going to be forcing Badger off the angle. And it seems like NiBBLE are indeed going to be committing to this B-bomb side. You can see Bullock still hanging around towards A, not entirely committing to the rotates, and Mohamed finds Badger. Don't think he needed to force the issue there. He knew where Badger was, and he knew Badger was cooped in the corner. Now it's Dagger left in the clutch, and they know that he's here as well after they see the molly coming through. Does he realize that DMS is pushed? Oh my god, he seems to have made the read. He's ready, he's in position. Now it's just Bullock left, but he doesn't expect Bullock to be coming from heaven. He's fully prepared for the aggression to come from short, and he commits everything to that angle. And he ends up being taken down. So that is the first half done and dusted. 9-6 for Ekasi. Nice turnaround from them. Let's not forget, they were actually down 4-1 at one stage, and they end up taking it all the way to 9-6. So that's really good work from them on their CT side. Now NiBBLE find themselves on the CT side, and this is their strength. This is their bread and butter. They played this half against Online Kingdom to perfection in the group stage. They won 11 consecutive rounds to close the game out 16-13 after they were behind 5-13. So all of the signs are there that they have what it takes to close the game out from this point. Although we haven't seen Ekasi on the T side. They're going to have to get the job done in the pistol round without who else though, because he just sends who else into the Netherland. Ekasi is still going to continue to force the issue towards the A-bomb side here as the util reigns in, but the rotations have come through from NiBBLE. They've got the information, and they're holding the choke points as well. They're not even allowing Ekasi to get onto the fringes of the bomb side. Finally, DMS still able to draw blood, and he's actually doing a bit more than that with the Glock as he taps away. But he's stuck in such a tough place right now. They've identified his position, they've isolated him as well, and he's been brought down to 11 health. Surely there's no ways that he wins the round from this position. Only 2 bullets left in the magazine. He knows if he can just land one, he gets the headshot instantaneously. It's a frag, and that's why he's holding the angle. Ivan dancing around, doesn't want to give it away either. No need for him to force this. So DMS is just looking for an opening, hoping and praying he can find something for free, but played to perfection by NiBBLE. I thought Ivan might actually overpeak that there, but he ends up just calming things down, going for the disciplined approach. And that's what forces DMS to push forward into that crossfire. Textbook stuff from NiBBLE. 9-7. It's going to be the full save for Ekasi. Of course, they didn't have the luxury of finding a bomb plant in that pistol round. Generally, we see teams going for the force fire if they lose the pistol, but they got the bomb plant. And NiBBLE actually look like they want to be trying to hold the extremities here. They're getting a bit aggressive, and sometimes this can cost you against the pistols because you can get overwhelmed. But Mohamed's done a great job once again here towards lowers. Even though he lost his support really early on and Frozen being taken down, he was able to maintain his composure. Bullock eventually does get taken down, and NiBBLE confirm their 8th round on the scoreboard. And Ekasi will have enough money to buy up in this round, so we're going to be having our first buy round after this timeout, which Ekasi called. So they just want to mull things over here and make sure that everybody's on the same page heading into the gun round. Big gun round coming up here, both teams with an opportunity to make a bit of a statement, and it's actually NiBBLE who don't have the best buy at their disposal right now. 3 SMGs and 2 rifles to try and get the job done, and a couple players don't have enough money to buy up in the next round if they lose this, so you can't even go so far as to call this a bonus round. And look at this, all 5 players out of spawn, immediately making their way towards the B bomb site, potentially just going to try the straight up rush and see if they can get the damage done. They are going to be smoking the molly and they're committing, but the nade is on point from Dagger, so is the spray there followed up. Ivan finds a frag of his own, and it's a bloodbath and monster tunnel. Ekasi haven't even seen any of their perpetrators either, as they get demolished through the smoke. The util was super effective as well, and that's the gun round over before it even began. What do DMS and Gemini do from the situation to try and salvage this? An absolute bloodbath and monster has left them in such a tough position, and look at the protocol from NiBBLE. With such a big advantage in the round, they know that they don't need to do anything further. Just sit back and wait, force Ekasi to make the next move. Frozen has the angle, he's covering the push through fountain, party and lowers. And Mulchmat's watching along, so all of the angles are covered, everything is under control. NiBBLE win the first gun round without even dropping a single player. That is a massive feat, because now they save 5 rifles, they take all of those rifles into the next round, and they get a big buffer in their economy. So that's a big W for NiBBLE in that round. So what do Ekasi have in store here in this eco round? Frozen hanging around a bit more than he should be. He gets the audio cues from who else who jumps, and that means that Frozen can adjust just in time. I understand the need to get information, but when you're playing against the pistols, I actually don't even think it's necessary to put yourself in that forward position. Information isn't nearly as important when you're in the anti-eco round. You rather want to go for the more passive approach and make sure that you keep yourself alive. So maybe something NiBBLE need to consider, because I've seen a few times now in their anti-eco rounds, they probably get a bit more aggressive than they need to. Should be a mere formality at this point. Badger towards long, hoping to maybe try and take a bit of the heat off of his teammates and see if they can maybe make some magic happen towards B, but they don't even have the bomb on their back right now, so even if they do get control, they won't even be able to get the plant. And look at the positioning from NiBBLE. All 5 players just sitting passively waiting. This is exactly as you should be approaching your anti-eco rounds. Not giving away an inch. Forcing Ekasi all the way into the bomb site before they can make something happen. And Badger's going to get a frag towards A, but surely it's just meaningless at this point because they don't have the bomb. And finally the penny drops. DMS goes all the way back towards spawn, but he actually needs to die here. And he realizes if he stays alive, that is going to be a big problem. So if I'm NiBBLE, I'm actually running. I'm hiding. I'm not killing him. Oh, jeez. I thought that maybe they'd try and get the frag. Or rather just not allow him to die. That's what I would have gone for in that situation. Literally just drop back, and if he finds the bomb plant, well, fine. But try and create a bit of an unforced error there. Yeah, that's a good point, Heartbreak. They knew that NiBBLE were on a weaker buy, so why are you going into a position where they're going to have a few strengths? That's a really good point, man. Frozen puts him in himself in a position to find a frag, but as soon as he goes down, Badger is able to get the trade with his AWP. So Orpa takes down Orpa. Opens up the map a bit more now for Ekasi. When I casted a game with Nix, he was singing Mohammed's praises towards as to how he plays this bathroom area. He rates him as one of the better players in South Africa on this part of the map. Says he's got a very good read on the timings and just when he should be reaggressing, never allows the T's to settle. So we can expect a lot of that tonight, and already he's opened up his account. Ekasi with a man down, bit of time left on the clock, mauling over their options, hoping Badger can perhaps find a kill and make their job a bit easier, but at the moment, wherever they go, they're going to be a man down because they've got one player at B and two over at A. But as I say, that Badger and DMS just find a frag between them each and completely blow the door wide open on the A bomb side. Even looking for a quick response here, as well as Dagger as they push their way forward. It's going to be the player on the angle. That's DMS. Badger with the AWP finds his third frag in the round. His teammate Bullock is charging in forward, trying to give him the support that he requires. He doesn't want to let his teammate go down. Dagger's going to find the frag. Oh my god, he nearly was able to transition onto Bullock as well. Good decision making there from Bullock to push so far forward and not just try and play the timer on the bomb, but rather try and support his teammates and keep him alive. Even though he doesn't keep him alive, he trades the frag out and secures the round win. Vital round win for Ekasi as well. 10-10. And it's going to be another full buy round. No money left in the bank for either team, so whoever wins this gains a grip on the economic battle as well. And those are the rounds that have a bit more value to them. Frozen with the flick shot takes down Badger, and NiBBLE are going to continue to force the issue. Gemini is able to get one, but can't get much more done after that. He doesn't want to push into the crosshair of the Orpa, at least not without any support flashes, and that flash comes through from DMS, but in the end, NiBBLE have already dropped back. So it's almost a carbon copy of the round that we saw before, where it was a 3 versus 4. Ekasi had control of toilets, they had the bomb as well, and Ekasi actually were able to convert the round the last time they were in this position. So let's see if they can do something similar here once again. They have got all 3 players grouped up this time, and they're edging their way forward. They don't have the luxury of the AWP on Badger to try and find that opening frag. Gemini going to be leading the charge here. Little does he know, Rogues is just on the opposite side of it. Lazy there for DFS. He doesn't expect the player to be so far forward, running out with his knife out. We were always taught never run with a knife out, guys. Come on, that's rule number 1. Oh, Frozen. Oh no, Frozen. I thought you were going to hit that shot for sure. Bullock with a chance though as he breathes life back into this round. Ivan and Dagger left to try and secure the situation. And Ivan does exactly that. He's been solid in the second half. He didn't have the best first half, but he certainly found his footing here on the CT side. So NiBBLE pull ahead here once again, 11-10. Let's get a quick look at the frag count on each side. Mohamed again topping the charts for his team with 21 kills. Leading from the front as the lead fragger on the team. I think it's, from what I've seen, himself and Frozen are probably the 2 heaviest hitters on the team. And they both top the charts on Nuke and once again here on Overpass as well. And it's a pretty good kill distribution on NiBBLE as well. Just Ivan as the bit of an outlier, I suppose, with 11 kills. But as I said, he's been doing his work on the CT side. On the side of Ekasi, DMS, Badger, Bullock, all around that 15 to 18 kill mark. Who else in Gemini struggling a little bit more. Back into the game we go here, and it's going to be a bit of a half buy from Ekasi. They've got the luxury of having that round loss bonus behind them, so they'll be able to buy full up in the next round regardless. And they do have a few upgraded pistols and some armor, so this could be a round in which they get something done. And look at how aggressive they're being, trying to smother these CTs. They've actually been able to identify, or rather isolate Mohamed, so he gets taken down. And who else retrieves the M4? Unfortunately for him, it's out of ammo, so he can't get the kill, but regardless, Badger has been able to. Who else is going to continue on his tear right now? He finds another frag. Eventually, Rogues is going to take him down, but so much damage has been done. Now it's just even left in the clutch, and he'll go down to Gemini's Desert Eagle, which has been a force to be reckoned with throughout the entire evening. And that is yet another anti-eco round NiBBLE have lost, the 3rd this evening. Alright, so this game is still very much alive right now, especially considering that Ekasi have got the grip on the economic battle. Look at the force buy coming through from NiBBLE. This is a big decision. I didn't actually see their money before they decided to force, so I think it was pretty much a double save situation regardless. And you can see Frozen's has saved a bit of extra money to make sure he can buy the AWP in the next round. And NiBBLE are going to get a look to get aggressive here towards lows. They've got 2 players who have gone down. 2 players towards long toilets, and then 1 towards banana, but none of them unfortunately are going to be able to get anything done because all the action is towards that B bomb site from Ekasi. Not sure about the force buy here. As I said, there might have been because they had to go for the double save, but rather don't fully invest then. Rather just upgrade your pistol, save around $1,000 and make sure when that full buy round comes that you're not going to be having any discrepancies in your buy. Oh man, okay, Rogues finds the timing as he pushes up the ladder. They need to save that off, there's no 2 ways about it. And that's exactly what Frozen does. Picks up the gun and heads in the opposite direction. Meanwhile, Rogues and Ivan, they can look for a couple exit frags here, but Ekasi just keeping things calm as they secure the plant. Starting to find their footing here on the T side as they string some rounds consistently together here. Actually going to be pulling ahead for the first time in a while as well. So now we see NiBBLE in the situation where they absolutely have to go for the full save. USPs across the board bar the P250 on Mohamed. I didn't even notice that Frozen didn't get to save the AWP, by the way. So that's a bit of a problem for NiBBLE because it means the one hope they could have had in the round was taken away from them. Now their hope is just for numbers at the situation, trying to potentially overwhelm any of the T players that they can isolate. They've been able to find 1 kill, but it seems like that's all it's going to be as the AKs start to mop up. 13-11, Ekasi put 2 rounds between themselves and NiBBLE, and they're now only 3 rounds away from closing out Overpass and taking us to a 3rd map. Remember, this is a lower bracket match. Whoever loses this game is eliminated from the event altogether. So everything on the line right now. These 2 teams are playing for their lives in the tournament, and Ekasi doing everything they can to keep themselves in the hunt for that 3rd and final map. Been a while since NiBBLE have had a full buy at their disposal. They've got the AWP and Frozen once as well, once again. And then you can see that NiBBLE respect the magnitude of the situation, not being overly aggressive at all, just showing a bit of presence in the early stages of the round, but then dropping back immediately. How did your game go against Clutch Kings, Kyle? If you wouldn't mind just filling us in on what happened there, please, man. Ekasi looking to execute or rather fake towards the B bomb side. Are they going to commit? I'm not sure. Ivan takes down Bullock, but look at who else is positioning. He's lurked all the way through long, through bank. He's going to be catching them with the backstab here. There's no ways that NiBBLE anticipate this. And all in the meanwhile, that bomb is making its way frantically towards the A bomb side. Finally, who else is able to activate, but he gets taken down by Dagger. Mohamed still alive and kicking as well, but not for much longer. Dagger now tasked with trying to lock down the A bomb side while the support arrives. He needs to stay alive for as long as he possibly can. He's going to pre-fire the angle as well. The support has come through. Dagger's going to get the kill on DMS. Now it's just Badger left with only 7 health. He needs to secure the plant, but he only has 12 seconds left to try and navigate the situation. And you can see NiBBLE are toying with him. They're giving him nothing, forcing him to push forward. Badger frantically looking for the frag. He'll be able to take down Dagger, but there's no time for the defuse. Played to perfection by NiBBLE Conspire. Wow, what a crazy round. As the dust settles and we can start to assess the situation, it's actually Ekasi are going to have a far better buy in this round. Mochma can drop an M4, but outside of that, it's going to be FAMASas and SMGs. That's so unfortunate that that's a situation that NiBBLE find themselves in right now, whereas Ekasi have a full buy at their disposal. AKs across the board. 3 MP9s and 2 M4s to try and get the job done for NiBBLE. Not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. But such is the situation. And it seems like Ekasi might go back to the bread and butter, just straight up be exec here. All 5 players on this side of the map. Couple going to be going through short. And this could actually work out perfectly for NiBBLE. They have the SMGs at their disposal. And already one frag's been found. Who else? He's been caught. He's high and dry. He's in no man's land. He didn't get the memo that the strat was cancelled. The execute was cancelled. Cancel culture got the better of it. And he did not get the message. So he was all the way up short. Meanwhile, his teammates hadn't even entered the monster tunnel. That's awkward, man. You hate to see it. What a big round here for NiBBLE to get that start off with. Seriously. Can't stress enough how big that is for them, considering the weapons that they had in this round. Gemini and DMS with only 57 health between the two of them as well, so they've been damaged quite badly. And Mochmat focused towards long, which is where they're going to be coming from as well. DMS looking to get boosted up. He's going to spot him, and actually the double peek leads to the frag. Mochmat isolated himself with how far forward he had pushed, but Gemini on the opposite side of the map is going to go down. So now it's on DMS and Badger to try salvage the situation for Ekasi. And they're just going to be pushing all the way up long. Dagger welcomes them with open arms with the MP9. Now it's just DMS left, and he lands a nice first shot on Even, but there's still so much for him to get done in the situation. He's even been spotted out. He does fake the plant, and Rogues. Good decision from him not to commit unnecessarily, but DMS still alive and kicking, doesn't realize that Dagger is dancing around the bomb site though. What a big round. The MP9s, did they get all 5 kills in that round as well? I literally think they might have gotten all 5 frags. What's up, Nick, brother? Welcome, dog. Missing you here, man. Missing you this evening, but I hope you had a good evening, mate. 13-13. Ekasi starting to stutter. NiBBLE starting to get their footing here once again. Who's going to be able to push home from here and close out the game? Neither team has much money in the bank as we go into the 27th round, so this could be a pivotal round. Frozen getting aggressive, gets the angle, but he overstays his welcome. And who else has the angle? Badger's going to take down Mochmat as well, and all of a sudden it's Ekasi with the 1 map advantage. So much time left on the clock for Ekasi to try and manipulate the map as well. And it seems like it's going to be a fake towards A and then executing towards B with three players here still, while who else dumps his util on the A side of the map. Doesn't seem like NiBBLE are taking the bait just yet, however. It's still Rogues, and he's happy to lock this down by himself. Oh my god, who else utterly destroys him, and that is a big frag, but it actually, they're still committing to B. This could be where it all unravels. NiBBLE, they could still have a chance here. As I say that, Bullock finds the kill that was absolutely needed, even though alive and kicking, hoping to try and keep his teams alive in this round, but he's being rounded on by who else? It's just a matter of time. Oh my god, okay. Fluffed a couple of shots there, but who else eventually does secure the frag? Ekasi go up 14-13, and ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to be going to a 3rd map here after that performance. I'm sure we're going into a 3rd map now. The 4 spy coming through from NiBBLE. They're not wasting any time. They want to try and get straight back into it. This could be the beginning of the end for NiBBLE. Frozen dropping the M4 across to Mochmat. They're juggling weapons. Nobody knows what they should be holding right now. It's just nothing tells me that they have what it takes to win this round. Gemini pushing forward is actually going to get taken down, so that's a good start, but I'm actually not sure at all what Gemini was trying to achieve there, because his teammates were in no position to get anything done off the back of that push. Not like they could push onto A or try and follow up with the aggression. But who else again continues to be the difference maker as he takes down Mohamed. That's the M4 on the deck as well. And you can see Frozen desperately wants to try and salvage the weapon. Ekasi surging towards the say bomb site, leaving no stone unturned as they make their way forward. And they're just going to completely overwhelm the pistols right now. I think the job's been done. Rogues will get one, but surely he's going to get taken down here up close and personal. That's exactly what happens. Ekasi Esports making it happen here on the T side of Overpass against all odds. They stand tall in the hunt of a third and final map. Bullock takes down Dagger, and that should be surely a third map on the cards now. This is going to be a tough pull for NiBBLE to swallow, considering the position they were in a couple rounds ago. They certainly did have a hope of closing this game out in 2 maps, but those hopes have been all but dashed. Unless somehow they can take this to OT with this force buy. They've got the M4 on Ivan, they've got the Scouts on Frozen, but the AKs have been on point for Ekasi. Rogues actually able to pick up the first kill. They're going to need a lot more than that, however. Oh, nice shot there from Badger. He does get tagged down by the Scout, so at least a bit of chip damage has been done. And all in the meanwhile, Ekasi, they're walking onto a vacant A bomb site. Who else is getting all the information in the world right now? It's going to destroy Dagger on the entry. And that confirms a bomb plant at the bare minimum. Bullock with the spray will be able to readjust and find the frag. Keeping that man advantage alive. Oh no. Whoa, this is super aggressive from who else. That's not necessary at all. As he drops in towards the CT stairs. Cost him his life. Rose is going to shut down Bullock as well. Now it's on DMS in the clutch. He turns the 1 versus 2 into a 1 versus 1. He knows where Rogues is going to be coming from as well. And he repositions himself. There's no ways that Rogues makes the read. Clutch 1. Great movement by DMS. Great decision making. And that is the easiest clutch of his life. 16-13. Map 1 done and dusted. Wow, what a run. Great stuff by Ekasi to keep themselves alive there, especially it seemed like everything was against them. They lost some vital rounds, but they also won some really impressive rounds. In particular, those eco rounds should never have happened. And NiBBLE are certainly going to rue those rounds that they lost unnecessarily. We think all the way back to the start. I mean, it feels like this map has been going on for ages. We think about Ekasi had started proceedings on the CT side and NiBBLE got off to that good start, but then they started trading back and forth and Ekasi ended up pulling ahead. They actually put up a really solid performance on that CT side. They got 9 rounds after they were down 1-4, so they came back really nicely, and then they followed it up with exactly what they needed to on the T side. NiBBLE, I think, are going to be kicking themselves a little bit that they didn't secure that map win, but that means exactly what we wanted. We're going to a third and final map, everybody, considering that these teams are fighting to keep their hopes alive in the tournament, to keep themselves going. They want to reach that next round in the lower bracket, and we're going to be seeing exactly who will be staying alive here as we move into Mirage next, guys. I'm going to be taking a short break, and I'll be returning after a couple minutes, bringing you all the action on Mirage. Soon. TM. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
This is the story of a man. A man who is more machine than man. A man who is at odds with himself and others around him. The man, the machine, an attempt to survive. One day to run with others was his wish. But that dream will never live in reality. around him. The man, the machine, an attempt to survive. One day to fund with others was his wish. But that dream will never live in reality. An attempt to survive. One day to fund with others was his wish. But that dream will never live in reality.
Oh no, it's happened again. We're making it just in time, everybody, as we get back into the server as the pistol round is going live. It just caught me off guard, but hey, at least we got to listen to the full song. It was an absolute banger, so I'm sure you guys are happy about that as well. Now Ekasi on the T side, they've been able to secure the bomb plants, and all 5 players are still left alive, and they're actually in really good post plant positions if you just look at the mini-map. So how are NiBBLE going to be unsettling them? Northmap with the chance to do the first, and oh my god, he destroys Gemini. Looking for a third, he will eventually go down. Smoke misses the bomb, so it's actually still being exposed. Frozen doing everything he can to find the frags necessary. The diffuser's being stuck once again, but Badger takes down the diffuser even. And DMS will be able to find the last frag on Frozen. Oh no, not like this, NiBBLE. The smoke misses the bomb, and it's an absolute disaster. You can't afford to miss that smoke. Chanchi, my boy, welcome to the stream. It is indeed the 3rd map. Need to actually update the HUD quickly to set the score for Overpass, which was won 16-13 by Ekasi. Set, force refresh, back into the game. We go to force buy for NiBBLE, and they're gonna have a job to do as Ekasi are not wasting any time pushing forward. Bullock on the entry finds the first, but there's actually 3 players in this B bomb site right now. NiBBLE have gone for the stack, and it's working out perfectly for them. as they've been able to do some damage to these players entering the bomb site. Another frag coming through from Mohamed as Rogues takes down who else as well. This is a crazy start to the game. It's just back and forth, the most high octane start ever. DMS looking for the clutch. So low health on Dagger, just one bullet will do the job. He takes down Rogues. He doesn't realize that that's the extra player. Dagger will be able to get the frag. Oh my god, the captain of the team coming through when they required him the most. Jeez, like, can I call a timeout? Does the caster get a timeout? I need to catch my breath, man. Alright, well, if this is what we're in store for, if this is a bit of an example of what we're in store for the rest of the map, I am so keen for this right now. This is the third and final map of the series. This is the teams fighting for their tournament hopes. Gemini with the Tech 9 is going to be continuing with this pace as they charge through middle. The pistols are enough to get the jobs done, at least to find the initial frags. Two-man advantage secured. Orc in hand of who else as well, and he's going to land a great shot onto Ivan. Oh man, it just seems to be the case. Whoever has the pistols wins the round. Rogues will get one, but that's all it's going to be. The first frag in the round for NiBBLE. Man, oh man. Who else with another AWP shot there to close out the round? Super high octane start to this game. Insanity, how did your guys' game go against Critical 5? If you wouldn't mind filling us in with the results. That would be much appreciated, man. And Chanchi, how did your guys' game go against Online Kingdom if you're still around, bro? Scores and updates on maps, guys, would be much appreciated from you two. As NiBBLE forced back straight in, and this seems to be the case in Counter-Strike when the force buy keeps beating the full buy. You're just going to continue with that pattern until a team finally breaks the pattern. And let's see if Ekasi can break the mold here and win a round that the favorite is supposed to win. Doesn't get off to the best start with Gemini being taken down by Mohamed, hanging around way longer than he should have, gets taken down. Wasn't necessary for him to continue sticking around after he got that first frag. That's when you keep that advantage, you drop back and you force the T's to make the next move. Who else who pushed all the way through market already catches the player in CT, so I think Ekasi have definitely done enough at this point, and DMS secures the job as he finds that double kill towards middle. So finally normality prevails as the team with the favored weapons actually win the round. Alright guys, I'm going to ask the question straight up. Who do you expect to win this game, considering the situation right now? We're in the third and final map. Ekasi won the previous map 16-13. Now on Mirage, they've gotten off to a good start on their T side. I had NiBBLE as slight favorites heading into the series, but Ekasi are proving that they have every little bit that they need to actually get the upset or potential upset done here. By the way, I'm looking at it, showing that they have everything they need. What do you guys think? NiBBLE has to be NiBBLE. Nexus saying Frozen will pump them. Yeah, I mean, that's been the word throughout the series so far, and Ekasi just continue to prevail. So let's see if we're going to be seeing what we expect to happen be the case, or can Ekasi pull this out the bag? As I said, losers eliminated from the tournament altogether. Winner books a date against XD tomorrow night. Seeing if they can potentially overwhelm any of the T players, perhaps isolate them, but in the end, Ekasi, they've got numbers in mid, so everything's on lockdown for them. And now, finally, 6 rounds into the first, or rather the third map, the first half, we're going to have the full buy round, and NiBBLE don't actually have absolutely everything they would have hoped for. They're lacking kits, only 1 kit on Frozen. They don't have the AWP either, and he's a big fan of warping on the CT side of this map. Pretty much just sits behind ticket box and on the A-bomb site and locks down the A site near single-handedly. Gonna have to do the job with the rifle this time, and seems like who else is trying to fake towards the B-bomb side. He's been able to get quite far forward already. It seems like he's actually gone relatively undetected. Drops down towards the van, and finally the information comes through. My word, he nearly was able to lurk amongst those players on the B-bomb side. But he goes down, and now his teammates need to have an impact. We got the whole dynamic squad in here, do we? Welcome, boys. That emoji suits you, Sean. Two-man advantage for NiBBLE in the first full buy round, so they're looking steady to get back to winning ways here, unless we're going to be seeing some next-gen entries from DMS. They at least do have enough util to work their way onto the bomb side as the smokes and flashes start to rain in. There has been a response from NiBBLE though, already a frag from Frozen. That takes the heat off of Rose, who's able to swing out and get a double kill, so a flawless gun round for NiBBLE as they keep all 5 players alive. Great job by them. Solid performance there, Mr. Tian. Insanity, if you wouldn't mind just occasionally updating us with how that OG versus Critical 5 game is going, that would be much appreciated, man. Also got into a third map, also a lower bracket game. So, tournament lives on the line. Look at who else he's been able to get quite far forward, and it seems like they have an idea that he's there playing on the angle. He will go down to the fire. His teammates looking to follow up as they charge forward onto the speed bomb side. The responses come through, the rotations are making their way forward, but the frags go the way of Ekasi as they find the initial entries, and they're able to secure the bomb plant as well. DMS coming up when it matters the most, although Badger ends up finding that fire actually does hurt. I think NiBBLE are going to be going back for the savior. I'm not sure. It seems like they're hanging around. Maybe just the fire keeping them at bay. Frozen and Rogues, the 2 players left in the situation, but Bullock just has the angle on lockdown with an AWP. And now it's Frozen left in the 1v3. No choice but to save the AWP. Surely will be able to land the first shot, but just so many different places these final 2 players could be. There's no reason for him to go for it. Ekasi going up 5-2. So that means Energy have booked a date against ATK on the 12th of September, if I'm not mistaken. Can go and check it out quickly. Yeah, 12th of September, ATK plays Energy and Goliath plays Dynamic. My god. How do we choose which game to stream? How do we choose which game to stream? So I actually believe that this Energy team with Mango haven't played against ATK in an official yet, so that's definitely going to be an interesting game. I think we're slightly more inclined to casting the Energy versus ATK solo stream them both. That ain't it, Chief. That ain't the play. We'll see. There's a few other people who also contribute to the conversation, so we'll make a decision eventually. We'll try and decide which game we're going to go with. NiBBLE going back for the force buy here. They've got 2 scouts and AWP and 2 upgrade pistols. This could be where things start to actually unravel for them in this half. They're already down 2-5. They've gone for the force buy. If they lose this 2-6, probably eco in the next 2-7. And Ekasi are going to be feeling really good about themselves at that point in the half. So this force buy is a big decision from NiBBLE. Who else who's been doing a pretty good job towards this B bomb site throughout the early stages of this half is able to find the opening once again. Just continuing to have a presence. He's pulled the rotation across alone. That means middle and the A bomb sites are going to be a lot weaker and primed for the taking. I really like the way that Ekasi are taking middle control here. They're actually just being very passive, not forcing the issue unnecessarily or as soon as the round starts. Just delaying it, and now they get their way into the B-bomb site. But why I like the fact that they delay their mid-take is because they know that the CTs are probably going to put most of their emphasis on middle in the early stages of the round. Frozen divide. The CTs are going to put most of their emphasis on middle or defending middle in the early stages of the round, right? Immediately, the player in snipers is going to hold the angle, and probably the cat or connector player are going to look to get an angle as well. And then as the round progresses and players like who else show that presence in apartment, that's when the catwalk player gets pulled back into the B bomb site, and all of a sudden A, or rather middle, is far easier to take control of. So I like the patience on display here from Ekasi. I like how they're changing things up. And it's a solid T side so far from them. Now it's an anti-eco round. A round they can ill afford to lose. And again, who else just continues to wreak havoc towards the B-bomb site. Done his job, now he just has to stay alive. I like the way Ekasi are approaching this anti-eco right now, not making any commitments without prior information. And you can see who else is just trying to show as much presence towards the B-bomb side as he can. He's already seen a couple players, so he knows that there can't be a stack on the A-bomb side at the bare minimum. Eventually he gives his life up, but he gets the information. In fact, Mokhmat gets a kill as well, so I mean, this is actually getting slightly interesting as Rogues gets a frag with the AK. I mean, damage is being done here. Barely any health left on the remaining two players though. Only 41 health between the two of them. Bullock and Badger tasked with getting this round across the line for Ekasi, which should absolutely still be the case. And indeed is, as Bullock secures the final frag of the round. Ekasi go up 7-2, and now we reach a really important buy round. This is a round that NiBBLE pretty much have to win. I mean, it's not like it's a do or die situation, but to get back into this half and start mounting a bit of a platform for themselves, this is a vital round for them. Frozen has the AWP, they have full utility on everybody as well. They have everything they could have hoped for. And Frozen finds first blood as well. Badger had the spawn, he looked to go for the pick, but he ends up going down, and as a result, Ekasi, they're just going to charge onto this B-bomb site. They're looking for that killing blow round to try and destroy the hopes and dreams of NiBBLE, but it's Ivan who's able to find a double kill and leaves his team in a great position before he goes down. DMS on the angle, however, is able to find another kill, so not too bad for Ekasi, but as I say that, the IGL Gemini gets taken down, and that should be the end of the round. Rogues gets activated in apartments, and NiBBLE finally get back to winning ways here on the Mirage, but this is just the start, right? This is just the beginning. They need to win a couple rounds in a row here. They have to string some together. They can't afford to lose the round immediately after and go straight back to where they were before. Fortunately for them, they've actually been finding quite a few kills in the rounds that they've been losing, so at least they have chipped away at Ekasi's economy, which means that if Ekasi lose this round, they're not going to be able to buy up in the next round. Pretty much the same situation for NiBBLE, so a big round economically speaking here. Who else has been able to get quite far forward in middle as they force NiBBLE off the angles. So they've successfully taken middle control, and they still have a lot of utility left at their disposal. This is a successful situation that Ekasi find themselves in right now. How do they approach it from here? It looks like it's going to be boosting up into Snipers. Dagger, the timing might work out against him. Yes, who else drops into Snipers? He's able to take him down. Now they've split the defense down the middle, but he's going to go too far. He pushes through the murder hole, and he ends up receiving that very name. 3 versus 4 now. Mokhmat in the perfect position to shut down Gemini as well. He had the audio cues that he was pushing forward, so it was all too easy for him. And even though NiBBLE lost the first player in the round, it seems like they should actually have a fairly smooth sailing path to victory here in the 11th. As I say that though, Badger keeps things interesting with the AWP shot. Bullock also has a job to do towards A. He's just going to get overwhelmed as he steps out from triple stack. Now Badger just left in the clutch with only 15 seconds left on the clock. Really no options for him on the table. He's even been spotted on the cross, so he's going to go down to Frozen. Big round win for NiBBLE. They're going to be starting to find their footing here once again, getting a bit more momentum in their corner. Ekasi calling a timeout here. They just regather themselves on the T side. Of course, they don't have any money left in the bank to buy up, so it's going to be a save round. Perhaps just discussing how they want to approach the save round. And then the buy round thereafter. Very even kill distribution for Ekasi. All 5 players are between 9 and 8 frags. Same can't be said for NiBBLE. 4 of the 5 players have an even kill distribution, but Dagger struggling quite a lot right now here on Mirage. Double orb setup coming into play for NiBBLE. Frozen wielding the one as per the usual. Rogue's picking up the second, and he's actually got that orb towards Ticket while Frozen is orping in middle. Frozen dancing with death there on the re-peak. Gemini has also been able to get quite far forward, but Dagger has the angle on lockdown between him and Rogues. The A bomb side is a no-go. And if NiBBLE aren't expecting who else in apartments anymore, then I don't know what to tell you, because he's pretty much gone there every single round so far on the T side. Nice shot from Badger. DMS has a chance to find another frag here, potentially. Spots the head out. Mohamed doesn't need to be taking this fight at all. And NiBBLE just being very passive right now, sitting back, not giving anything away. Although Mohamed's going to overextend. Badger was waiting patiently for that, and now he has to go back and retrieve the bomb as DMS starts to explore the A bomb site, but little does he know there's a player creeped in behind the firebox. Rogues towards CT. He's going to adjust just in time. His spidey senses were tingling and he was absolutely on the money. Now Badger left in the 1v3, streaming towards the A bomb site. Pretty much on a whim and a prayer. I don't think he has much going for him right now. Frantically looking to try and get something done, but timing is not working out on his side. And again, if I'm NiBBLE, I'm actually just trying to dance around and kill him after the timer. I get that the logic approach is, yeah, you just want to make sure you win the round regardless and take as little damage as you possibly can. But if you kill him after timer, he's got no gun heading into this gun round. 5-7. 3 consecutive rounds now on the trot for NiBBLE. And they would love to make that a 4th here with the double orb setup still in play. Krieg for Bullock. My word, it feels like forever since I saw this gun in an official. Nade stack coming through. Frozen's dead. There we go, his body even falls out the window for good measure. That's actually, I feel like that's a heavily underused nade setup. Seriously, it's like, you normally only see that in eco rounds actually for the T side. Sort of go for that airstrike effect. I feel like that double nade should be used really often, because you actually start forcing the AWPer back. He can't afford to sit there anymore and hold the angle, even though it's smoked, even though he got there first. Changes the whole setup of the CT side. Dagger does get taken down by Gemini. I didn't realize that a player could have the angle on him through connector. So that brings things back now into the 3v3. Gemini has a chance to potentially catch the AWPer off guard. He jumps around the corner to try and evade the AWP, but in the end he still finds the frag, and Bullock shows that the Krieg still has life in it yet. Wow, 3 versus 3 turned into a 1 versus 3 with only Ivan left alive here for NiBBLE. And he's going to be saving absolutely the correct decision to make. Mohamed has no money heading into the next round, and he's going to be needing his teammate to actually drop him a weapon. And that man is Ivan. He'll be lucky if he gets the AK though. No one drops an AK on the CT side. That's just an unspoken rule, right? Can you imagine you ask your teammates to drop you the AK? That would be so disrespectful. Krieg meta was a wild time. My god, Panda, it was. Can I just imagine? I mean, as an AWPer, I think it was like literally a living nightmare. Because you literally could not take anything for granted, ever. Fights that were almost always supposed to go the way of the AWPer just became like these 50-50 battles across the map. So yeah, I'm sure your life was a bit more tough than everybody else's. I'm just glad that we're done with that gun, seriously. Just delete it from the game while you're at it. Guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's been actually good to see the turnout, considering that this game's been going on for a while, and considering that we don't have, you know, necessarily the top teams here on display. We've got two very solid teams in Ekasi and NiBBLE, but it's been great to have everybody here this evening. Been good support throughout the entire championship elimination stage on every stream so far, and we've got another stream coming up every single night for the next 4 nights after this. For the rest of the week, we're going to have a game, so make sure that you clear up your calendars. Back into the game we go here. A full buy round for both of these teams. Dagger's been reduced to a Desert Eagle, however, so not too ideal for him. Clearly I misread the economy. I thought a weapon would have been dropped, but not the case. Mirel's looking for the timing as he just creeps through the edge of the smoke. He's going to find the frag, and he's doing such a good job towards this B-bomb site, because now, chill out, Ekasi, you don't need to force the issue, you don't need to be executing. That kill buys you so much time. You should be allowing the defense to start shifting, and then you go for the exec. Oh my word! DMS has jumped straight over Rogues. Regardless, it seems like it's not going to be making much of a difference as Ekasi have a seamless transition onto the A bomb site. Frozen going to be the first respond here, looking to try and get a frag to make this retake a possibility, but his teammate can't even go through into snipers. He's completely lost that opportunity. Now NiBBLE have to try and save, but even that's not a foregone conclusion. All the information's there for Gemini. If he holds the angle, he's going to get contested, and he does get taken down, but this is still not the save secured. Who else is coming up through apartments? And he's just going to play patiently, sitting and waiting. He finds the first, gets the second as well, and he continues his strong run here on the T side of Mirage. Frags going the way of Ekasi Esports, with both Gemini and Badger opening up on the A bomb side. Of course, this is the final round of the first half, so NiBBLE have invested everything they've got, but they're losing players left, right, and center. Mochmat's able to retrieve an AK, but that comes with little consolation right now, considering that they've already lost full control of the A side. Bomb's been planted. They don't have a kit. They've only got one molly, but that frag is essential, as it actually gives them some room now to start working onto the bomb site. The remaining 2 T players are rooted in at ramp and palace, so every chance for these CTs to start making their way forward. They can also molly off either ramp or palace, but Bullock on the angle easily finds the frag on even. DMS takes down Mochmat, and Ekasi secure 10 rounds as they make their way into the CT side. That's a really solid first half from them, just coming off all that momentum that they had in the second map. Remember, as you can see on the right side, going all the way back to Nuke, NiBBLE won that convincingly 16-9. We were then on Overpass, which was NiBBLE's map pick, and Ekasi were able to pick that up 16-13. And they followed suit here on Mirage as well as they go up 10-5. Let's see what they have in store in the pistol round. NiBBLE got quite a lot of utility. They've got 4 flashes and 2 smokes, and they're all set up towards the A bomb side. Might see something similar compared to what we saw out of Ekasi's pistol round on the T side. Ekasi, they've got 2 flashes and the kit's on Gemini. That kit's certainly going to be needed here as NiBBLE have already secured control of the bomb site, smoking off top of connector, smoking off CT, and then taking jungle control. Big fan of the strat, but it is Ekasi who draw first blood with Gemini picking up the kill. Rogue still on the angle, is able to deny the rotation. He takes down Badger as well, and that secures the one-man advantage. However, there's still a lot more work that needs to be done. Great shot there from Frozen with the swivel. And the all-important pistol round is going to be going the way of NiBBLE. They absolutely needed this round as well. Cheers for the kind words, Carlo. Much appreciated, homie. Definitely starting to feel the fatigue a little bit now in the 3rd map, but I'm still on top of it, man. I'm still enjoying it. The one thing that helps is when you have an entertaining game, because it just keeps giving you the energy that you need to continue on. Ekasi going for a bit of a half buy here, not fully investing into the round. I like this decision. As I said on Nuke, the same thing. It means that they're going to have that extra couple of $100 when they go into the full buy round, the round after the next, because they saved that bit of extra residual cash. So that means they'll have the AWP, they'll have all the rifles, they'll have the kits that they need as well. I saw that missed smoke dagger, just by the way. Caught that on stream. And NiBBLE going to be now grouping up towards this B bomb site. They don't have much information going their way right now. And I actually think there's a stack over at B right now. I'm only seeing... Yeah, there has to be a stack. So this could work out for Ekasi. Unfortunately, guys, we're subject to the auto director right now, so doesn't make sense, but we're spectating the player on the bottom of the stack, and that is who else with the CZ. Gets caught between 2 players, but he's still somehow actually able to find a frag. DMS tapping away with the Desert Eagle. Can't conclude his kill on Dagger, and Ivan is going to go nuclear with that 2-piece with the UMP. Such important frags. Now it's just Gemini left in the clutch. Desert Eagle in hand. Very low health on the 2 remaining players. I thought for a moment it might be doable, but they just go for the double peak. Avert any disaster. And win that important round. Could have got dicey though, and that's why I'm not a fan at all of teams actually pushing into a bomb site in the anti-eco or the anti-force without any information, because you don't know whether you're pushing into a stack or not. Rather risk one player, let him push ahead of everybody else and get the info, or get a bit of info at A before you commit. Ekasi now with the full save though, so this should be NiBBLE drawing within 2 rounds. Seeing discussion in chats about how they should rotate the maps. I mean, seriously, the more you prac Mirage, the worse you get at. I actually think that's the most apt description of this map I've ever seen in my whole life. Not even gonna lie. Love Vertigo. Vertigo is one of my favorite maps in the pool right now, so I really hope that teams continue to play it. I've seen in South Africa, it's had a bit of a surge recently in terms of the number of teams that are deciding to play it, so I'm happy about that. Nuke also been picked up a lot more recently, and that was inadvertently because Vertigo came into the map pool, so teams couldn't just permaban Nuke anymore because they wanted to permaban Vertigo, so they actually had to start learning how to play Vertigo. So I mean, I hope that continues to be the trend, that teams also start picking up Vertigo now as well. I'm a massive fan of the map. It's really fun to spectate, very entertaining. I mean, it's not like the most technically based map. You know, it's not your overpass, but it's something different. It brings a different approach to the game. It plays into different strengths for different teams. Yeah, I think they could actually change things up with Mirage. I think that Mirage has become a bit stale, but if you're going to call Mirage stale and not Dust stale, then I've got questions, man. And I've got big questions for you. Get 12 FPS on Anubis. Jeez. F's in chat for Zin's computer, everybody. NiBBLE with the super aggressive strat. They're going to be rushing in towards the B bomb site. So all 5 players on this side as they lead their way forward. Mortimer jumping out the window, Superman style, finds the entry. He's going to go further than that as he takes down who else as well. He doesn't need the support of his teammates. The one-man army gets the job done, sends the shockwaves through Ekasi, and now they're going to be saving their weapons, making their way all the way back with their tails between their legs. Ekasi yet to find a round in the second half, everybody. NiBBLE showing that they still have fight in them yet. And this first gun round is a statement. Everybody watching who's played this game before knows when you're making a comeback and you end up on the T side and you're still making the comeback, you want to win that first gun round really badly because it makes a big statement heading into the rest of the half, heading into the continuing to make the comeback. You have faith in your gun rounds thereafter. You just need that first gun round to go your way, and all of a sudden you tend to look at the comeback in a completely different perspective. Who remembers DE_pool? If you say there was a map then pool, then I don't know, there must be something wrong with you, man. That was literally the best map in existence. NiBBLE now making their way towards the A-bomb side. They've clearly got a certain pace that they want to be playing with on this T side, and it's actually costing them this time as they bite off a bit more than they can chew on the A-bomb side. Seems like their smokes might have missed the mark slightly. I'm not sure. Jungle is completely open, so that smoke certainly wasn't on the money. And that's the first round that Ekasi have now picked up in the second half because they were able to save those 3 weapons they could buy up in the round, and finally they get off the mark here in the second half. Season, that's a map I actually think Season had potential. Seriously, no cap, I think Season had potential. Looking to do the entries towards middle single-handedly. He just pushes straight through that smoke. That was a super risky play. It ends up working out for him. And off the back of that, his teammates are pushing into A. It seems like NiBBLE have had enough playing games in this game because they are just shifting into another gear right now. Mochma tapping through the smoke removes Badger from the equation. And I like that NiBBLE don't immediately flinch after they lose the previous round. They still stick to their guns with this aggressive playstyle, and it immediately gets back to winning ways for them. Props to them for having faith in the setup. Seems like who else is actually deciding to hang around here. He's picked up a quick double kill, and DMS trying to throw in some support utility as well. It seems like they want to have a crack at this. I'm not actually sure why right now, considering the economic situation. They need to take these weapons into the next round, and sanity prevails as they now start to back off from the bomb site. Vital round coming up here because Ekasi don't have any money left in the bank if they lose this, so they're going to be starting to scratch their heads then as NiBBLE will be leveling up the scoreline. Remember that Ekasi were ahead 10-5 heading into this half. NiBBLE have brought themselves all the way back into this game, and it's going to be a bit of aggression from the IGL towards Ramp. He loses his life, but Bullock is on the trade. 1-for-1 trade though, definitely going to be favoring the T side, especially considering how much time is left on the clock. They now know the positioning of DMS as well, so he's only going to be so effective on that side of the map. Quite keen to see how NiBBLE try and exploit this one-man advantage, but Ivan backs up into who else's crosshair. That's the thing about playing B apartments, is you have to be super conscious as to where you can be seen from while you move around, because shifting one centimeter left or right immediately exposes you to another angle altogether. That's the biggest challenge, I think, of playing apartments in the B area as a T side, where you don't necessarily commit to the bomb side. You're sort of just like using the pillars and the windows to try and take your fights. that's probably the most challenging part, and it costs him there. Badger on the angle should get this frag onto Dagger as he edges his way forward. Just needs to see the side of his body, and now it's a 2 versus 4. And it doesn't seem like NiBBLE are going to be preempting the player on top of Palace either. So that should be a free frag. Bullock's gun is sticking out. Rogue will take him down. That actually opens things up a bit now. Secures the bomb plants at the bare minimum. Lots of spam coming through there. Eventually the kill will come as Frozen is now left in the 1v3. Turns it into a 1v2. Got a bit of util to try and aid his cause. But Badger, fully blinded up, connects on the shot and takes him down. That's a big round win for Ekasi, especially considering that they lost the first player in that round. And they lost that player in middle quite a while back, and from there things just started to unravel for NiBBLE. So props to Ekasi for keeping themselves in the hunt, and they keep themselves economically fluent as well. Full buy round for both of the teams. NiBBLE had a lot of money left in the bank, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be slowing things down here either. Keeping up with this high energy T side. They're going to be going for the full A execute here. The thing is they can't waste any time because they haven't got any presence elsewhere on the map, so they don't know exactly what info Ekasi has at their disposal. Smokes and flashes raining in. A ton of flames as well. Gemini catches Dagger through the smoke. Dagger just can't catch a break this game. Super unfortunate for him, but a quick flurry of frags comes back in turn. Gemini continues to play around the edge of the smoke. You can't afford for your jungle smoke to have this gap. There is actually a smoke you can throw which covers on that side. You have to throw it a little bit higher when you stand on top of that terrace. Now it's Ekasi who have a one-man advantage and seems set to make this retake happen. You can see all the retake utility is starting to come through. That's a Palace smoke, I'm sure. Smoke coming in on ramp as well. And Ivan has to make a move. Yeah, he actually gets a shot through the smoke. He gives Gemini a taste of his own money. The diffuser's being stuck. Mohammed comes out of Palace. He gets the third. He's frantically spraying away, but he won't be able to take down the diffuser. Who else with the balls of steel secures the round for his team? Ekasi go up 13-10. 3 rounds away from reaching the next stage and eliminating NiBBLE from the tournament. My word, you couldn't have scripted this. Panda, if you recognize that they know so many Nade King smokes, that means you also know so many Nade King smokes, right? I just outed you, bro. That's right. I see you. This is crazy, man. How's your heart, Josh? Are you starting to stress a little bit, bro? Ian Stratbook exposed. Damn. Did you dirty. You tell your team you get all that recognition, eh? You get the clout. Jeez. Even Liam is outing you now, bro. Back into this game we go. My word, I feel like I've got a second wind right now. I feel like I've just drank a Red Bull, but it's actually just the energy that is coming off this game right now. These guys are giving it their all. Tournament hopes on the line for both of these teams. Ekasi 3 rounds away. NiBBLE with the full buy once again. But the game is starting to get away from him, even just holding down mouse button 1, praying that that kill feed reads that he finds a kill through the smoke. Badger, though, positioned in the ladder room, is going to be able to find one. Drops down, he finds another as well, being super dynamic with his AWP, being the playmaker that his team requires. Finally, a kill coming back for NiBBLE as Mochma gets that timing peek out of Palace, but it's immediately negated as Gemini takes down Rogues. 2 versus 4 now, but the bomb is all the way back towards the TV room stairs. Ekasi poised to take another round here, but Badger misses his smoke, his shot rather. Now it's just Ivan left with a hope and a prayer. I think the round loss bonus is going to start to substantiate NiBBLE's economy. So I think they will be able to buy up in the next round. I'm not exactly sure right now. A few of the players will have enough money. It's going to be a bit messy, probably a few Galils. But Ivan seems to have been found out here by Badger. Now's his number. 14-10. NiBBLE don't have enough money to buy. Do they force? We saw on Overpass when they were in a similar situation, they decided to go for the force buy. Do we see the same thing here? Do they allow Ekasi to get to match point and then back themselves to win 5 consecutive rounds? That is the answer. That's the option they're going for. Have a bit of money to invest into some light utility, a couple smokes and flashes, and they're going to be going for this A rush, at least trying to secure a bomb plant at the bare minimum. Smokes come through. They smoke off top of they smoke off jungle instead, and Dagger leads the charge with the Desert Eagle, actually gets the kill, and Gemini could get taken down as well, able to just make it back through the smoke. NiBBLE could make this interesting. There is an AK on Dagger. Towards CT, he's not going to find any competition either, so once he can refocus towards A, he can actually become a bit of a nightmare. This round might work out for NiBBLE. Frozen finds a frag with the Tech 9 as well. This could be the beginning of the unraveling sequence as Ekasi make their way forward, but who else picks up the double kill that was needed to bring this round back into Ekasi's favor? He's actually able to find a third, but Rogues, my god, he lands 2 disgusting 1Ds. He's now pushing forward, but who else sticks the defuse again? And he's going to be able to get the frag onto Rogues. There is no chill on this guy. He is having a lights out series now. He's had so many high impact frags, and again he clutches it out for his team by sticking the defuse. NiBBLE Conspire just can't catch a break. They nearly make it happen in the eco round, but they can't get across the line in the very last second. Now it's 15-10. They've got full AKs. They need to win 5 consecutive rounds to take this game to overtime, to keep themselves alive in the ESL. Oh, the ESL. No, this isn't ESL. Feels like ESL. This is VS Gaming. Telkom VS Gaming Masters Season 5 Championship Elimination. The lower bracket. They've already lost 2 players. It's a disaster. Why has he done that, Dan? It's a blunder, as Henry G would have said. Not to Dan, at least to say the Kirsten. Oh my god, it's falling apart at the seams. It's just the 16-year-old Frozen left to try and clutch it out for his team. But it seems like Ekasi have done it. It seems like Ekasi have brought it all the way back after losing their very own map pick all that long time ago. Nuke was lost 16-9. They picked up Overpass 16-13. They earned a shot at keeping themselves alive here on Mirage. And that's exactly what they've done. Surely they don't drop the ball from here. Just Frozen left alive. Edging his way forward. Bullock on the angle. Not necessarily watching the close angle. More focused towards Palace. So this could be a frag for Frozen. Bullock actually able to spot him. So he does a little bit of chip damage. Frozen will be able to get the bomb plant at the bare minimum here. Could turn this into a clutch that his team so desperately needs. He's got a molly and an HE grenade, but he's being sprayed down. They've actually been able to lock him in on the bomb side as well. Oh, how he would have wished he could have actually gotten off the sites and tried to secure a favorable post-plant position. He is able to take down who else at the bare minimum, trying to buy himself some more time with the molly and the nade, but there's a smoke to extinguish the fire, so he just holds the angle while Badger peeks out, and Badger's going to take him down. Good game, well played. NiBBLE lose the series after winning the first map. Ekasi win the series after losing the first map. My word, what a fantastic game that was. Whew. Need to take a deep breath after that map. That was just absolutely crazy, mind-blowing stuff. Such high octane Counter-Strike as well. They gave it everything. Neither team should be, or NiBBLE shouldn't be disappointed at the end of the day. They gave it everything they had. They fought back really hard on that T side, but props to Ekasi. They were mad on Mirage. Their T side was baller. They moved around really well. You could see how well oiled they actually were on that T side. The way that they were working themselves and completely changing up the way that they were using their pieces. Super impressed by who else towards the apartments, the way that he was actually just playing that throughout the whole half. Gemini making great calls as well. Badger was on point with that AWP. Fantastic stuff. Great work by Ekasi. They keep themselves alive and they march on here in the Telkom VS Gaming Masters. They are going to be playing against XD next, so anything can happen. I spoke to who else in the interview. He said they're keen to take on XD. They want a chance. They want to see if they're capable of pushing all the way into the top 8 in this event. That's the goal right now, and they've gotten off to the start that they needed to achieve that by beating NiBBLE here this evening. Whew. What a night. What a match. Let's go all the way back. Let's just break it down once again, just in case anybody hasn't seen everything that happened. The first map was Nuke. Felt like ages ago. Felt like a lifetime ago. Nuke was won by NiBBLE 16-9, picked by Ekasi, and NiBBLE actually had a great second half that pretty much secured them that game. It was their T side, which was super impressive because it was actually like 9-6 at halftime, I think, and they had a great T side to close that out. Then going into overpass, Ekasi were the ones to bring the fire with their CT side in the first half. After they were down 1-4, they brought it all the way back, and they had a 10-5 halftime scoreline. It was phenomenal. Then they managed to close it out as well on their T side. So fantastic stuff, earning that third and final map, and they didn't squander the opportunity either. Came lights out on Mirage, picked up a great first half. They went 10-5 up on their T side all the way through into that third map, into the second half, got the job done, and secured the map 16-10. Congratulations to Ekasi, commiserations to NiBBLE, and with that, guys, is the end of the evening. It's been a great job by the players to provide the entertainment, and thank you so much for joining me tonight, guys. It was great to actually have everybody here, see how active chat was and the viewers and all the rest. So from my side, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. My name's Hayes. You can follow me on social media as well. I'd really appreciate that at Hayes Castings. And I also released my first YouTube video today, which I'd love if you went and checked out. I basically just did a tribute video to the Cloud9 team that had the 3 South Africans in. If you hadn't heard the news recently, Cloud9 is restructuring their entire CSGO division, so they are releasing their current roster in essence. So I just did a video talking about them. You can find that on my YouTube video. If you type Hayes Castings in on YouTube, the channel will come up, or you'll find it on my social media as well. So that's that, guys. Like I said, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolutely great evening, and we'll be back tomorrow, same place on this very channel. We've got a game live at 8 p.m. If I'm not mistaken, we're going to be streaming Royalty Esports versus WRG. It's going to be a cracker, guys. That's all I have for you tonight. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a great day tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.